Hey y'all, it's Edward
And Amanda
from Heavy Cardboard, and we are very honored to welcome y'all to the 1-year anniversary of the Mile High Game Guys.
And congratulations, Adrian, Jeff, and Zach. You guys have done awesome, and we're really proud to be, y'all's friends and stuff.
Yeah, and getting to 1 year is no joke. We know how much work goes into producing a quality podcast, and y'all have been killing it. So keep up the great work, and for those listening, enjoy the show.
Woo!
Hey, everybody. Well, thanks for that intro from Edward and Amanda from Heavy Cardboard. And yeah, I agree with them. Hope you guys enjoy the show. You guys gonna say anything?
I'm waiting for you to say I'm Adrian.
I'm Adrian.
I'm Zach.
I'm Jeff.
There we go.
Literally, I can't start unless you do that.
Yeah.
It's the anniversary episode. We're throwing everything out the window. We're starting from scratch.
Okay.
Right? That's how you do these things.
Not allowed to talk. Until
Okay, so from scratch, this is going to be a PlayerUnknown Battleground podcast, right, Jeff?
Yes.
Shit.
Yes.
Back it up. I screwed up. This was a mistake.
Only Battlegrounds and Terraforming Mars.
Yes.
So this is going to be kind of a combination regular episode and anniversary episode because we're still going to talk a little bit about what we've been up to, what we've been playing, things like that.
Because you can't live a week without listening to us talk about those things.
And because we do regularly talk about time-sensitive stuff like the hottest of news and the freshest of Kickstarters, we're going to touch on a couple of those. And then instead of a review, we're going to, ramble about doing a podcast for a year and tell you about
Stuff
how that's been for us.
Yeah.
And what our plans are for year number 2. Dose.
Sure, it's not just year zero. And
Yeah, this is year one now.
is it year one? Did we start year zero and go to year one?
I mean, I guess technically you're right because as a baby, you have your first year birthday and you're 1 year old.
Yeah.
So we're 1 year old now. So this is our 1 year year.
This is our 1 year anniversary. You're right. Yeah.
Yep. It's our 50th
Oh boy.
Yep.
episode year anniversary.
Yep.
So we're going to read a lot of listener feedback at the end of the episode as
We
part
have
of all that.
So many emails.
So many emails. So much
Long,
awesome stuff.
dense, thick emails.
Yeah.
Just how Jeff likes them.
Yes.
Yes. And in addition to hearing from Edward and Amanda at the start of the show, you could hear from some other podcasters and people who sent us some kind words via audio that we'll mix in here and there. But one of the feedbacks we got in one of the emails, somebody, was very astute and recalled that we drink while we podcast fairly regularly. And he asked
every time?
pretty much.
Yep.
And he asked us to talk about what we are drinking on the show. So starting with episode 50. We're going to open up here with what are we drinking? Jeff, what are you drinking?
I am drinking an Epic Brewing Exponential Series Double Skull Doppelbock Lager, served in a bomber.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is a beer that has been given away by Ant, friend of the show, brewer at Epic, to multiple Blood Bowl events, being as one of the worst rolls you can roll is a Double Skull.
Nice.
Yeah. At Gen Con last year, he had like a case of them that he had with him, and anytime his opponent rolled a double skull, he just reached down, pulled one out, and handed it to them.
He did also bring enough for everyone at the tournament on top of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Myself, I am drinking from a growler of Sanitas Brewing up in Boulder. Their IPA. I'm not sure what the actual name of it is because it wasn't written on the growler. I have a friend staying in town, and that was her gift to me for letting her crash in my guest room. She gave me a growler beer.
Nice.
So,
I love Sanitas.
yeah, they're real good. I'm really enjoying it.
They have a sweet bocce. Is it bocce? The little donut rubber things you throw outside.
Bocce ball and stuff like that? Yeah.
I don't think that's bocce,
No.
but
I don't remember what it's called.
sure.
Okay.
And they got really good tacos.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And last but not least,
Zach, what are you drinking?
it's. Let me make sure I'm pronouncing this right. Water.
Water?
It is
Water,
in a Trader Joe's organic lemongrass spearmint herbal flavored water thing.
Trader Joe's will never sponsor us.
No, they will not.
No.
Crisp.
We're not nearly. Well, maybe if you promoted the show like you're promoting this water, Zach.
No, this is water out of your sink. So. Gotta love that lead. All right.
So that's what we're drinking.
Indeed. And later, we have a Stone Drink by July 4th.
Unfiltered IPA. That
Unfiltered IPA.
you got to let it settle a bit. It got a little shook up.
Yeah.
So I'm all shook up. Oh.
God.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right, so on to what we've been up to. Let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. You guys got some chicken dinners, didn't you?
We got two of them.
Chicken dinners yesterday, in fact.
Yes.
We were playing duos. This is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. If you are unfamiliar with, join all the other 3 million players that are playing this game currently.
Yes.
I don't think Zach made it to the end of either one.
No, I was just wounded on one of them.
What was the other one?
The other one I died, obviously.
he's super dead.
Yeah, super
Weird.
dead. Yeah. But that one I was like, you were getting ready to res me, and I'm like, just kill him. I'm fine just being wounded.
That was the one I got 7 kills on.
You did.
Which is like tripled my like all-time kill high on there. I ran over 2 dudes and tried to run into another guy, but he went into the little shack, and then I had to murder him, and I did.
Yes, you did.
I knocked down another guy, and then his friend went to go get him while I was trying to get you up, because I was like, if I get you up, then it'd be 2-on-1. And then he went for his friend, and I was like, oh, well, you're super dead.
Yes.
And then the second one, we got an airdrop. So there's airdrops from like C-130s, and then it'll shoot off smoke, and they are death traps because everyone runs to it because it has some of the best guns. Limited guns. We ended up getting to one first and getting out of there alive, 15x scope and a sniper rifle. And one time Zach was like, hey, there's a guy at like 255. Do you see him? And I'm like, nope. Boom, headshot. Do you see the other guy? Nope. Boom, headshot. No, I didn't see those guys at all.
Maybe next time, Jeff. Maybe next time.
15x scope's real nice in that game. And then it was down to me and one other guy right in this cool little rock tree area. He was getting me first, and then I turned and went just fucking full auto, and I got a lucky headshot and chicken dinner number 2.
Yep. And I went. I think it was the day before that. I was the last person, the second to last person still alive. This was when I was playing with Bob, and unfortunately, the guy got a headshot on me before I could kill him, and so I did not get a chicken dinner. I was number 2.
So you mean you lost?
Yes.
Yeah,
I was the first loser.
I don't know why you even shared that story.
Because I wanted to say I was the first loser.
You're always the first.
We only
loser.
let winners talk here, Zach.
Then why are you?
Because I won the last board game I played, so I get to speak on the show.
No, we only rank talking points on PlayerUnknown Battleground performance.
Yes.
Oh, well, I haven't died at all, so I'm...
You haven't gotten any kills, though.
You've never murdered.
Yeah, you've never murdered.
Game's still good. There's a ton more stuff they announced coming to that, and I'm real excited.
So am I.
Yep.
Cool.
On to board games.
On to board games. So what board games have y'all been playing?
We were at D-Bolt Brewing for our game night this last Wednesday. One of my favorite because it's super close.
Yeah.
And then we played a Spiel nominee, Kingdomino, which was super fun. It's kind of like Dominoes, where you have to like match. I guess in Dominoes you match numbers, but in this it's terrain, like fields and trees and mines, and you have to try and get little king symbols that make those areas score more. And like that town building game that starts with an H named Honshu, they came to me halfway through describing it. The bigger blocks of building you get, the more points will be.
Yes.
But you're limited to a 5x5 grid that you want to try and build off of a center like castle wild tile.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's very good. There's a little bit of a tile drafting. They all have numbers on the back. And the higher, and they'll go in order, but the more towards the top you are, you get to choose first next time. And then it just kind of goes between choosing tiles.
And you'll see which, like, before you choose this time, you get to see what's coming up next. So you can be like, oh, well, I'll get this subpar one because I know I'll get a better chance at a good one on the next round.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's 48 different tiles, and they're all numbered 1 through 48, but they're all drawn randomly, so that number order is always changing.
Right on. I still haven't got a chance to try that.
It's understandable why it's got a nomination.
Yeah,
for
and it takes like 10 minutes, if that.
Oh, that's awesome.
I really want to get that game.
Cool. I'll have to give it a shot sometime. Games like that are always nice for game night. Plays
Yes,
quick.
they are.
Seems simple enough. You can introduce some new players to it and have them catch hold real easy.
I think it's up to 5-player. It's a fantastic little starter game for game nights.
Yes.
Sweet. Zach, what have you been playing?
I've been trying to think, and I played some ping pong, and I beat everybody at that.
Then we played Flatline.
We did play Flatline.
Yes.
That's what it was.
I was trying to throw you the fucking underhand on that one.
I couldn't remember shit.
Yep.
We played Flatline. It was 5 players. Were we playing with 5?
Yes.
And it was 3 new players, and we got absolutely destroyed. by the intro. Because it was like, as soon as we realized, all right, we have to cure all of these patients by the end, and then we looked and we did not, like, unfortunately, the one that we cured the last round, or the second to last round, was everybody lost a die, and then we saw that we were off by a factor of 10, not a factor of 10, by 10 dice, the amount of dice we had to get right. So
Wow.
we had to do 35 dice, and we only had 25 dice, and
Yeah.
we're like, okay, well, we lost this one.
Let's just call it.
Because if we didn't cure the patient of the second to last round, it meant that we'd have one of the patients left over, and we had absolutely no way of doing it. And so,
Yeah.
But I remember when we played in Geekway, the first time we got destroyed too. It was like once everybody got used to the game and how the flow and how you have to actually divvy up jobs.
Just throw out fucking dice.
Yeah.
Don't have dice left over.
Yeah, then it got easier, and we were actually able to move on to standard. And so I was just like, okay, well, we'll do better next time. But this seemed about right. So
It was my first play. I love Fuse. Flatline is awesome.
Yes.
I really liked it a lot. It's got that crazy, like, fucking go. This is a nightmare. What do we do? But then you get kind of like a calm planning stage in between.
yeah.
Where you can make fun of, somebody for accidentally wasting a bunch of time by fucking shit up.
I assume Adrian never did that.
No,
never did.
I never fuck up real-time games
No, he
by
doesn't.
wasting time or dice or
He just shuts
actions.
down, puts out 0 dice.
Thankfully, that never happened for me.
All right, guys. In 1.5 minutes, I'll be able to tell you what I can do with my dice. I have to look at all the possibilities. Yeah.
Not a game for paralysis.
No.
No, but I actually really enjoyed playing it too. Playing it at Geekway with Brandon and some of the rest of the people we met out there. So I'd be down to play it again sometime. It was full up when you guys were getting started. You already had a full table, so I had to go do other things.
Yes, you did. You had to, yeah. And then I also got to play 4-player Honshu.
Yeah.
So we had more players to it, and it made it better because you were able, like, there were more times where we were just like, ooh, that actually looks better for me. I'll take that.
You actually take someone else's piece instead of your own.
It's still at least half of the time you were taking your own, if not more, but it did add more of that. And we played with the optional objectives, so that was interesting.
Cool.
It was the one where if you had empty production squares, then you got 2 points from them, and they were still available. So a lot more of those cubes got used than they did last time.
Okay.
So
Cool.
Yeah, Honshu's good.
yeah.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it a couple times I've played. So I got to play Lorenzo Il Magnifico with Kyle and Cameron from Sounding Board Games. They Kyle has been giving me a lot of shit since he started coming to game night because apparently he thinks I don't play any games, despite the fact that I play a game at least every Wednesday.
And then you
Least
complain that you couldn't get Indonesia to the table or something
I've not complained about not getting Indonesia to the table, but
last week.
Yeah, I'm sure you. I think you have.
not Indonesia. No, Indonesia is not one I'd want to play a game night. There's too much. The fact that the most recent game of it I played, there was a 4-player game, and we were like, oh, wow, we actually finished under 4 hours. That was a quick game. It's like, that means it's not a game night game.
No.
Yeah.
I would consider playing a 5-player game at game night if it was organized well enough advance that I could be there at 5:30, have it completely set up, everybody get there at 6. We start right at 6 and blast through it before game night gets too crazy and distracting. Because 5-player Indonesia can move pretty quick. But anyway, I'm talking about Lorenzo Il Magnifico.
Yes.
Haha, you can't distract me.
That's from Simon, right?
Yes. This game is a little bit of a worker placement game, and some mild set collection and an interesting kind of dice mechanic. So basically, you have 4 pawns, and they are associated with one of 3 dice, and then your 4th pawn is like a wild pawn that can be anything, but it's a permanent 0 value. And at the start of the round, whoever's first player takes the 3 dice that match the colors. So there's like a black, red, and a blue or something like that. And you roll the 3 dice, and you set them out, and whatever value they are sets the value of the pawns. And then you're placing them on these tracks to claim cards, to purchase cards. The higher up the track you go, the higher number you have to have. And so if somebody does really good and rolls like a 6, then your pawn of that color counts as a 6. So you can go pretty high up the track just right away. Otherwise, if you need to go higher than what it is, you can spend little assistance to like boost it up. And there's other things you can earn where it's like, oh yeah, your green die always counts as +2 and stuff like that. And it's got a little bit of engine building. There's a couple different types of cards, like I think it's the green and blue cards you can buy that go into a slot on your player board, and then you can take a different action that then operates all of the actions on all of the cards that are at least that die value or lower in your player area. And those collect you resources, which you use to buy more cards, stuff like that. It was okay. I didn't super fall in love with it. There were a few things that felt a little like clunky. They just didn't quite run well together. I don't know if that was because it was 3 out of the 4 players' first time playing. But overall, I enjoyed it. Like I said, it didn't like blow me away or anything, but I'd play it again. I didn't hate it. I won, which I'm always happy to win a game.
Greatly increased your opinions of the game.
Correct. But yeah, so that was Lorenzo y Magnifico. I need to give it a little bit more plays before I really fully get into how I feel about it.
Okay.
Was there not enough trains in the game or something?
There were no trains.
Oh, see?
There was, you had to like earn favor with the Pope, and if you didn't earn enough, you got like really bad negative penalties applied to you. But luckily, I was
He just shit all over you.
I was really good at pleasing the Pope.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Boo!
boo this man. Yeah, and then that was all I played at game night because I only play one game a night at game night apparently.
No, it was a long game.
Yeah, and I wanted to play cribbage, but Zach was too busy playing other things.
Yes.
Ping pong and Hanimikoji.
I did play one other game.
He did.
Cass in the Old World.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
We did it for the first time with 5 players. Ant has the 5th player expansion, which is crazy out of print and is like $300 now, which I will never unfortunately get. I really like the game. I think Blood Rage is better. I think it's got some balance problems, and I think the balance problems get better if you play with a group that plays the game more regularly. But
That makes sense, yeah.
I spent some time reading forum posts about like how unbalanced Khorne is in that game. And people are like, it's not unbalanced. You just have to play against them. And then it turns into like, hey, everyone has to be wary of Khorne the whole game. And it's
Right.
like, that doesn't seem like balance. And
Yeah, that's like people who say that Cosmic Encounter is balanced because it's unbalanced, and fuck that. I don't like either game because they feel drastically unbalanced, and if you don't know any better, then whoever gets that lucky one that if everybody doesn't jump on them and stomp them into the earth, they run away with the game.
it seems like their condition
And
is really easy to get.
Nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the other 3 players that you played with, I talked to them afterwards and they're like, yeah, I'm never going to play that game again.
Yeah, Paul straight up, he was like, dude, why did you let me play that game? And I was like, because I didn't know you were playing it, or I would have told you that was not for you, Paul.
Same here.
Yeah. I still really, I like it, but yeah, it's.
I mean, they're both by Eric Lang, so
Yeah.
Blood Rage and that, yeah.
Yeah. There's parts of Cass in Old World I wish were in more like Blood Rage, but
Yeah. Yeah, there were things like there were like interesting mechanics in it, but the overall gameplay, like I felt,
like how the upgrades work and things like that.
I like the little dial that you kind of get to advance, and
But then Khorne gets 2 turns every fucking turn because all he has to do is kill one thing and gets a dial turn.
yeah,
But then he's killing 4 things a turn.
Right.
And everyone else has to put 2 corruption down in a specific spot with multiple cultists to be able to do anything on their dial turn. And then it's just like, well, I killed one of your cultists and now you don't get a dial turn this turn.
Right.
so
Yeah.
yep. I played it once, and I'm pretty sure that's quite enough for me.
That's the same for me.
Number 35 overall on Board Game Geek.
Is it 35 now?
really?
I think it's that. I think it's super
Jesus,
high.
I need to go rate it.
I'm just going to go mark it as 0 to offset all of the tabs.
That'll bring it down. Oh, Adrian doesn't like it? Let's bring it down to 3,500.
Clearly, how it works.
Overall strategy, 65. Overall, 85.
85. Okay.
That seems maybe better.
24 thematic.
I'm not sure. I feel like it belongs in the top 100, but
Yeah.
it's just me.
But, I mean, does Twilight struggle?
Oh yeah.
Was it because it was there first?
No, I think Twilight Struggle is an objectively better game.
Well, this was the first kind of that game that was on Board Game Geek, I think. So before Blood Rage.
Yes.
Blood Rage is rated higher now.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow,
OG strategy game.
Yes.
did you guys play anything outside of game night board games?
I played Clean Up the Flooded Apartment Complex.
That's a dexterity game, right?
Yes, very much so.
Yep. And I played slots on Friday, so that's what I did.
That's a
Where did
press your
slot-
luck game.
Yes, it was, and I pressed my luck, and it pressed it well. So,
Push it real good.
yep.
I went and played games both Friday and Sunday up at Heavy Cardboard with Edward and Amanda. Both times it was Indonesia because Friday's game of the month is Indonesia. And then Indonesia was apparently their most requested live stream. And so they live streamed that on Sunday. I came in second on Friday. It was a tough game. Edward ended up really, really running away with it towards the end. And then Sunday, you can watch the live stream if you want to see how it all went down. But despite having two really bad beginning turns, I made some excellent mergers and moved some things around real well and positioned myself pretty strong in the mid game where nobody could really merge my companies away from me and they didn't really have much competition. And so I just made a big old pile of money that I then used to defend my companies when somebody else got the ability to start trying to merge them away from me. And I was like, I've got all the money. I'm keeping my company. So
$1.
one whole doll hair. But so I ended up winning that one. So that was my first time winning Indonesia. My sixth play of it, I finally won, which felt pretty good, especially because I did it on a live stream. So now everybody who watches will get to know.
So you're telling me that people were distracted while you were playing?
Yeah, well, or you could watch the live stream and see if it looked like somebody did that.
No.
I don't have the time for that.
It's less than 4 hours.
That's how many games of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds could we put into there? We could go into the crater 300 times.
Yes, we could.
And die instantaneously.
Yeah. Yep.
So, no, it was a whole lot of fun, though, and I can't wait to play it even more.
I'm sure you can.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, that's, I think, what we've all been playing, right?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
No?
Nope.
All right. Well, before we move on to news and Kickstarter, like you said, we had some people send us some audio clips. So we're going to throw one of those in here.
Hey everyone, this is Ambi,
Cassidy.
And Crystal, and we're from the Board Game Blitz podcast.
and we wanted to wish Adrian, Jeff, and Zach a very happy 1-year anniversary.
It seems like only yesterday that we were celebrating our own 1-year anniversary and listening to our messages from other podcasts.
Crystal, that was practically yesterday. It was a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, wait, since this is the Mile High Game, guys, we're allowed to curse, right?
Woo! Yeah, we are.
All right, guys, after being family friendly on our own show for so long, I don't know if I can do it.
We can do it. I believe in us.
All right, let's all say congratulations again, but this time more cursing. Ready? Go!
Happy
anniversary!
Okay, maybe cursing isn't our strong suit. We should probably just stick to 30-minute family-friendly episodes with a pinch of etymology thrown in.
Crystal, I thought you were going to curse.
Cassidy, etymology is not a dirty word. It's about learning.
All right, ladies, we've gotten off track here. The main thing is, it is so awesome that the Mile High Game guys have been producing interesting and insightful board game commentary for 1 year.
Cheers to that.
Congratulations, guys, and here's to many more years.
All right, yeah. So thanks, Ambi, Cassidy, and Crystal.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean, speaking of getting off track, I mean, we never do that.
No.
I'm glad to hear at least somebody did that during their little bumper thing.
Right. As I recall, I think we got off track recording our bumper for their anniversary episode. So it's come full circle.
Mm-hmm. Impossible.
Now that we've heard from them, we can get started with some hot news. All right, Jeff, what do you got first up in news this time?
We're doing news first. Oh,
We're doing news first.
You get to choose now,
I'm calling the shots.
Kickstarters and news. Starting with news. First up on news.
First up on news, Jeff just knocked his iPad over.
It's fine. That game that Zach has a perfect record as is getting...
Oh, Splendor?
It's getting expansion. Cities of Splendor expansions.
It's actually a set of like 4 different modules in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it seems pretty cool. It has they had a sort of story that introduced each of the different modules, which is pretty cool. Like the first, because it's going to be called Cities of Splendor. And so the first one is just, it introduced cities, which are objectives that you have to complete in order to win the game. You actually have to claim one. Because is that like you have to have that point total and
Plus the cards,
Yeah.
yeah. So like the one of them is just 17 points with no cards. And then there's another one that's like 13 plus 2 of every kind of card. Or like 13 plus 4 red and 3 black. And so yeah, they're
Or just 17 points.
yeah. That was the first one I said, Jeff.
Yes, it was.
With nothing else there.
When you talk, I just go in and out.
Yes,
Yeah, I figured as much. Sounds about right.
The second one is called Trading Posts.
Those also, we should say, do replace the nobles.
Oh, yes.
When you do that module.
Yes. The next one is the Trading Posts, and these add like actual powers that you can use during the game. That seemed pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how they work looking at the boards, and they don't go into a lot of detail.
No.
Yeah, it's just sort of a bunch of new symbols and like crests.
Yeah.
I think it's like if you have certain combinations of things, then you can start doing more and more things. Like it looks like if you have like 3 red cards and 1 white card, you get to do something. I can't tell.
To get a chip. Yeah, I don't know what that symbol is.
If
Or like
you-
if you have 2 white cards, you can turn 2 chips of one color into 1 chip of another color.
So the third one is the Orient, which adds just new cards. And so like there's one card that gives you 2 wilds, which seems pretty crazy.
Seems useful.
Yeah.
Right? Now, it's not like the original cards where it's a permanent. Like, it's got the chips on them. So, like, when you make the card, you just take 2 chips that you then have.
Yeah.
There's other ones that copy other cards. And, yeah, they could do some other kind of interesting things.
And then the last one is the Strongholds, which add interaction in the game, which is sorely needed for some people. And can you get, like, take cards from other people? Is that what I'm reading, right? Or I can't, because this is after you purchase a development card, you can either place one of your strongholds on the board or remove an enemy stronghold from the board. And when you place a stronghold on the card, only you can purchase that development card. And
Yeah,
if
so you basically lock it down.
Oh, you're locking out like ones on the board.
And then if you get all 3 of your strongholds down, you can just take the card.
Okay, that makes more sense then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where you'd maybe want to remove somebody else's. Like, shit, he's about to take that card for free. No, I'm going to take his away.
Oh, that makes more sense then. Okay. And so this looks to be, they're going to try and sell it at Gen Con.
Cool.
And release in stores around the same time.
No way that won't sell out instantaneously.
Right? So, I mean, I haven't played Splendor in a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of soured for me. Some of these sound interesting. Some of them, like the Strongholds, feel like an expansion for expansion's sake, which is kind of obnoxious. Like, it doesn't seem like it fits anywhere thematically or
There's worse
mechanically.
options.
I don't know. But
They
yeah,
all seem super interesting. I don't think any of them are bad.
I'm sure that somebody in our group will end up with it at Gen Con if it doesn't super sell out.
Stampede,
Yep.
If it's not, gone by the time VIGs get finished. But
Oh, we'll see.
which has
we
happened.
will see. Next up in news, it is officially announced Nuno and Paulo's next game, Brasil, is going to be releasing on Kickstarter. They have still not set a campaign date, but it will be during 2017. They're hoping that it should be out much sooner than Essen of next year, which is when people were kind of thinking it would be out. So they're hoping to launch the Kickstarter this year and have it out before Essen of next year. So should be pretty sweet.
Who makes Brazil again?
So Brazil is coming from Nuno and Paulo, who are a pair of Portuguese designers. They've designed kind of heavy Euro games. They've designed Nippon, Panamax, Madeira, which is actually a Golden Elephant winner from Heavy Cardboard, their heavy game of the year. Yeah, they're both really good designers.
I've heard of Panamax.
Yes, I own Panamax. It is currently the only game I own that I haven't played, which will become relevant later in the episode, but we'll come back to that. So yeah, that's going to Kickstarter.
Cool.
Yep. Next up.
Next up, Tiny Epic Defenders is getting a second edition / 2.0. I love all the Tiny Epic games. This is the only Tiny Epic game I don't have, mostly because they always come out with these second editions, and that's what I was really waiting for.
Well, it's here.
It's here.
It's going to be here.
It will be here. Yeah, it's going to have campaign mode and all that kind of fun stuff. And as well as its sort of expansion that has that sweet sleeve that you can put both the original and the expansion in. Defenders of the Dark War, or Defenders, Tiny Epic Defenders, The Dark War is going to be coming through Kickstarter later this year. Of course it is.
Yep.
Like all their other stuff.
Right.
Tiny Epic Quest is on the boat.
Yes,
like
it
as
is.
of like today.
Sometime in August, I think we were supposed to get it. Or
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it should be arriving in July, so
Okay.
probably August.
Right.
In time for Gen Con. It'll probably be shipping to us as we drive to Gen Con.
Yeah. Watch you get the arrival notifications like Thursday after we leave.
Yeah, and then it's be like, hey, there's that game that's sitting at home that we can't play.
no.
No pick up a Gen Con option, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. The most important of news to close out with, but also probably the smallest actual detail on, Terraforming Mars is getting 6 expansions from the mouth of Stephen Bonacore himself about a print run on Board Game Geek. Very large print run coming later this month, plus street dating on July 12th for expansion number 1, which would be the maps. And there are now 5 more expansions coming beyond that sometime.
When we only knew of one more.
There was like the moons and trading one, like Terraforming Venus.
Yeah, there's the Venus and then Moon Trade, so like 2 other ones. But then I'm glad that they're going to keep expanding the game because I hope there's going to be one with just a shitload of cards.
Just, here's some more cards. I mean, this one's just like, here's some more boards.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be glad with that. I sure would be nice to be able to find a pre-order for those boards.
Right.
But I guess they're pretty cheap. It's like $14, something like that. I would pay $14 more into my already hefty pool of Terraforming Mars purchases.
Well, and I got to think, he's already on like his 4th or 5th print run.
Yeah.
And so he's probably printing just a ton of these. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that availability is going to be an issue.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
It's like, we've printed, 2 million copies, and here's 13 boards.
Yeah, I don't think that he would do that to us.
No.
So. All right, that wraps up news.
Indeed it does.
So before we move on to Kickstarter, let's take a second and hear from El Doc, who does board game reviews and things in Spanish. So this one's in Spanish. Enjoy.
Hola, soy Oscar González, también conocido como el Doc Logan.
Y yo soy Beto González, también conocido como Doc Logan Jr.
Y ambos queremos felicitarlos a Adrián, a Zach y a Jeff por su aniversario con el podcast. Podcast. Eso es. Feliz aniversario, muchachos. Sigan adelante y pues chingue su madre, denle con todo.
Adiós.
All right, so thank you, El Doc Logan, for that nice words, I assume. I don't speak Spanish fluently enough.
We probably should have got that translated before we threw on the show.
Probably. I heard muchachos.
I heard all 3 of our names.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I did not hear.
Yep.
I have a very poor ear when it comes to foreign languages.
Right. Yeah.
But yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And now on to some Kickstarters.
Kickstarters, starting with Oaxaca. It doesn't actually spell anything like that. Oaxaca.
Yeah, after the Mexican city.
Yes. This one is not quite funded, $9,200 out of its $12,500 goal. A little less than 3 weeks, 181 backers, and a pledge of about $30.
So this game is actually designed by Sarah from Great Way Games and her husband Will. Zach, you've done a little bit of looking into this game.
Yeah, right? So it looks pretty cool. You're going to be, this is about rolling dice, and then you're going to be using that dice to take certain actions. Usually it's getting a card from the market. Well, it's like you flip one over and you put it in your workshop that you're basically trying to build, and you have to spend like more 5s in order to do it, and it lets you put it into your market stall, which allows you to use special powers. And it seems like there's a lot of dice mitigation, which is nice for these types of games because it is an engine building one, but it's based on dice. But like any one you roll is a wild, but it's like a weak wild because if you use a 5 to get 2 cards from the 5 or to get a card from the 5 pile, you grab 2 cards and you choose one.
Okay.
Whereas if you use a 1 to do that, you just get whatever the top card is.
Okay.
But then also your workshop has at the beginning 3 different slots, and say you had 3 5s on there and you used a 5 to work on them, you get to work on all 3 of them at once. But if you had a 3, 4, and 5, you use a 3, you work on the 3, you have a 4, you work on the 4, etc. So it's all about efficiency.
Okay.
And there are going to be tourists in the middle of the board that because it goes over 3 rounds, and so you get like 2 tourists in the first round that you can take your meeple and put it on there, and you get to do whatever its ability is. Sometimes it's use it as a 5. Sometimes it's you can use another card for another tourist, or you can refresh one of your own, or flip a die over, or something like that. So it seems pretty cool, and it seemed like I watched Rado's run through of it, and a 2-player game took like 40-ish minutes.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Like I said, it's only over 3 rounds, and you're basically rolling 5 die each time. So it seems pretty cool, and especially like with $30, and it's going to have unique icons on the dice. So, and the $100 one is you actually get, instead of your regular meeples, you get 4 Oaxaca
authentic wood carvings.
Yes, from them.
And then the wood box that it comes in looks really cool.
It does. It looks really nice.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it does.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn it.
And then the art design and everything on all the backs of the cards are really Oaxacan.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's how they say it too.
Yes. Does this card look Oaxacan enough? I don't know.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
It does.
Awesome. Well, I'll have to keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of engine building games. So.
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, like I said, you got a little under 3 weeks to take a look at that one. Next up on Kickstarter's Lords of Hellas. This one is extremely well funded, over $1 million on its $63,000 goal. As you can tell by these weird numbers, it was originally in British pounds. 7,300 backers and about 2 weeks left to go. This one is going to get you about a little over $100 for its pledge. This game looks, and it's one of those $100 miniatures games.
Yep.
But holy shit, do these miniatures look fucking amazing.
Maxitures, I think you mean. Yeah.
God damn it, Zach.
Yeah. It comes with god monuments that are 120 millimeters high, tall, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. Like you'll have your regular 22 millimeter like soldiers and stuff, and then the monsters are 70 millimeter, and then the god monuments that you actually piece together as you build them in the game are
really
120 millimeters. It's sort of a mythic techno mythic.
Yeah, it's got like
put rope-
Hermes has like those like almost like the legs that amputees get, the like curved ones that allow them to like sprint. Like Hermes has those, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like exoskeleton Athena and like power armor Zeus.
Yeah.
It's definitely a really cool take on like mythic figures and things like that. The monsters are just as cool. Like the Minotaur has like a cyborg arm, and Cerberus chains are like, I don't know, robot chains is the best way to actually describe
robot
that.
chains.
So,
Yeah, okay. I like the different
Dr. Octopus-esque.
Yes, there you go. The different armies, they actually do have different. They have heroes like Helena, Achilles, Heracles, and Perseus, and they look pretty cool too. And they're slightly bigger than the regular minis.
Yes.
So 28 versus 22.
Yeah, lots of stretch goals on this. Some additional monsters. A monster that almost like, I don't know, it looks like a dragon that has Gatling guns on it. If you've ever played Warhammer 40,000 and the Tau, but like put like a Tau hammerhead on a dragon.
Oh my God! Wow, that looks
it's thoroughly ridiculous.
that looks great.
Yeah, yes, great is a real good.
Hades looks really cool.
Yeah, one of the stretch goals is for Hades. Yeah, Chiron. Poseidon is still a ways away to unlock, but he also looks pretty awesome.
Oh shit, yeah, he does.
Robot tentacles and shit like that.
Who cares how this game actually plays? All these miniatures are fucking awesome.
Which I mean, that's the first time I heard about it. I was hanging out with Ant, and he was like, "Dude, I'm thinking about getting this game." He's like, "I don't know anything about the game, but the minis are sweet." Which I've thankfully moved on from that part of my like.
Well, you don't paint them like he does.
No, and he uses them for a whole like he'd use them for other things and stuff. He does a lot more.
I'm not
like,
sure
D&D stuff, and
that would be interesting to get a context for that for D&D to use techno Greek gods.
I guarantee there's something out there.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Yeah, the basic game is like kind of like Cry Havoc. There's like board control, but you're going out and hunting monsters, completing quests, and then building your monuments and temples and stuff like that.
Well, I hope he does back it because I would like to play that.
Yeah, it looks super cool. So if you have, and then there's a $154 pledge that will come with the an art book and then an expansion, which will come with some extra stuff.
And then it also has pre-painted miniatures, but
inked miniatures is what more
so it's
appreciated
like
they call it.
Yeah, it's like the little minions and Mexican minions.
Yeah,
but yeah, so that is Lords of Hellas,
and it's from November too. That's pretty quick.
Yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
I don't think they were expecting to make $1 million.
Well, some of their stretch goals. I mean, how stretch goals work in general. I mean, how many of those stretch goals did they have at those numbers?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's from Awaken Realms, and they've had 5 other successful Kickstarters.
Okay, that's good at least.
Yep, they've got some pedigree, you could call it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Next up
on Kickstarter is one that looks cool to me called Rise of Tribes. This one is another well-funded $129,000 of its $10,000 goal, a little over 2,000 backers. coming from Breaking Games. This is their first created, but this game looks super cool. It's got some interesting mechanics, kind of similar to the dice that was in Oaxaca, except it's sort of moons and other things.
Right, yeah.
There's 4 different actions you can take, and then depending on how many players there are, you get to put down 2 dice, one on each of the 4, one on 2 of the 4 actions, and then depending on the facing that is on the die, the action can get some additional powers. So as you can grow, move, gather, or lead, but sometimes you will get more or less off the grow action. Like the grow action could get 3 guys, but if there's 2 moons, you only get 2. If there's 2 symbols, you get 4. Or moving more, moving less. So it can be positive or negative on those things. And then there's different player boards and leaders and things like that that can affect your how your tribe grows. Some board movement of different resources. It's all like different hexes, kind of similar to Settlers. Like,
okay.
So it'd be like wood, water, build villages. There's like resource supplies that you can use to build other stuff. Leader powers. And it's got some great art.
I do like the art looking through
Yes,
here.
it looks good. I like those player boards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This one you can back for $39, and then it'll have a deluxe upgrade version for $59. 2 to 4 players, 30 to 60 minutes.
And the deluxe one has a bunch of wooden components and stuff like that. A giant mammoth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Huge mammoth. So it replaces a lot of the tokens with meeples. It turns all the resources into actual wood resources. There's a volcano tile. You get a volcano meeple.
Yeah, it seems like similar to TMG's deluxeified editions.
And it's a very nice deluxeified edition.
Yes.
Yeah. It looks super interesting.
Yep. Cool.
You got some amount of time because it doesn't bloat up on here.
23 days to go.
Little under 3 weeks left to go on that one.
Yeah, about 3 weeks when the episode drops.
No.
Yep.
All right, and final Kickstarter.
Indeed. This one is an expansion to Deception: Murder in Hong Kong called Deception: Undercover Allies. Another extremely well-funded game, 126,000 of its 25,000 goal, over 2,000 backers, and a little bit less than 3 weeks left to go. This one will cost you about $24 for its base set, and then there are some exclusive expansions and stuff, little theme packs you can get for $37 or $55 for the whole shebang, including the original game.
Okay.
Right on. So we've all now played Deception.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys feel like it really needed much more?
There is a lot in that base game, but if they're going to expand anything, adding in more of those clues and stuff like that doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Some more scene tiles, so some different clues that they can give out. There's some new roles. You can get more badges, so you can go up to 14 players with the expansion.
Jesus Christ.
And then they add a bunch of like goofy stuff like death rays and bees.
Mm-hmm.
Death by bee. I really like it. It's a good game. Did I say 57? 87. 87 for the whole thing.
Yes.
Including the original.
Yeah, that includes the original one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then 55 for the, you get player tokens that are little badges.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on. So yeah, if you really like Deception and you're looking for more stuff to kind of expand that game, go check out their Kickstarter.
Yeah, I think I like Deception in that sort of Mysterium-esque category.
Yeah. I need to play it more before I firmly
Yeah.
decide, but I
Same here.
definitely have enjoyed it. I like it more than like Secret Hitler.
I did not, so I need to to play this to figure out if I just was having a bad time that time or if I just don't like the game.
Fair enough. All right, well, I think that wraps up all our Kickstarters.
It does. Secret Hitler can do no wrong.
Unlikely story.
I hope somebody just edits that, gets rid of that secret. And then
Hitler did nothing wrong.
They were doing a Trump pack for Secret Hitler. I saw.
I got to order that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So in news, I guess.
Whatever. We're just talking about it right now.
Yeah.
It was $5, and it basically replaced Hitler with Trump.
With the entire Trump administration.
And then the administration was the other fascists.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like $5, $10?
$5.
$5.
Yeah.
I got to get that. I'm a completionist.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I mean, it technically works for people who just don't like because I know there are some people that are like, it has Hitler in it at all. I don't really want to play that.
Well, now here's Donald Trump instead.
And
yeah. It makes it even more real.
Maybe I can shoot Donald Trump in the face.
Yeah. Well, I have a feeling that some people, it's like as soon as they get it, like it'll be easy to see because you just see them open there, go, ugh, fuck.
Can I hang myself?
Yeah. Can I just shoot him? Please shoot me. Please shoot me. So
Please.
Oh boy. All right. Well, this time we're going to listen to Eric. He does the Cardboard Hoard and is also a contributor over at What Did You Play This Week? So let's hear what Eric has to say.
Hey guys, it's Eric Buscemi from the Cardboard Hoard and the What Did You Play This Week podcast, and also Meow, a member of the Punchboard Media Network. I just want to take a moment, Meow, to wish Adrian, Zach, and Jeff a happy podcast anniversary. Good job, guys. Meow, the Mile High Game Guys are also a part of Punchboard Media, but this isn't any sort of obligation I'm fulfilling, Meow. I've been listening to and enjoying their content and their filthy, filthy mouths long before we all joined up on this same network. Alright, Meow, where was I? Saying nice things about the Mile High Game Guys, that's right. So, I love their Kickstarter segments, their news segments, their detailed reviews, heavy games, light games, social games. Hell, I'm mildly interested in Blood Bowl because of their Bloody Minute segment. And on top of that, their production quality is great. It is an amateur hour, Meow. So, I just want to wish you guys success, Meow, and for many years to come. So, keep creating great content, and I'll catch you all later, chicken fuckers. Bagawk!
All right. Well, thank you, Eric. I'll try not to take offense to being a chicken fucker.
I'm sensing a theme, and I feel fine with that. If anybody wants to send us stuff where they're just cursing, I'm okay with that.
Quite literally, if any of the rest of you have a podcast where you're not allowed to swear and you just want to vent on our show, go fucking nuts. We don't care.
Yeah.
We have no shame.
No.
There was 8 meows.
Mm-hmm. I hope somebody didn't get that context, and they're like, why did he call him a chicken fucker?
Why was he meowing a whole lot?
Because that first one, you're just like, did he just say that wrong? And then the second one, you're like, oh, right, yep, there we go.
See, I knew because when I was asking him, I was reaching out to some people. I was like, hey, you guys want to, send us stuff? That'd be cool. And he was like, so have you seen Super Troopers? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, I know what I'm going to do. And I was like, I think I know what he's going to do.
But now, we really appreciate that. Thanks, man.
Yeah. And, thanks to everybody else who sent them in so far.
Yes.
And everybody else who you have yet to hear from, because there are more. Bum, bum,
Oh,
bum.
God, there's more.
Oh, God. Now that we are finished with all of our normal stuff, news and Kickstarter and banter and whatnot, now we're going to ramble inanely for an extended period of time about what it has been like to be podcasting for a year. We've done it. Did you guys think we'd make it a year?
Yes.
Way back at the start?
I had no idea.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. If it had been the first 6 months, maybe not. Just in terms of our downloads, if it had just stayed solid around that much, then we'd be like, maybe at one point, we're just getting tired of this. But
yeah, it has definitely made it much more enjoyable. Now that
know that people are listening.
Yeah, and we've got some legitimate fans who actually email us and interact with us on Twitter and stuff. Mm-hmm. Do cool things like that. Show us that we're appreciated. Which is awesome, and we really appreciate.
When you think the spikes on the downloads are this can't really get that much higher, and then it doubles our daily download record last week.
Yeah,
we're like, oh, I guess we're doing something right.
Yeah.
Yup. We have almost matched April's downloads.
Yes,
and we've only released one episode this month, so
yeah, and it's only the 12th.
Yeah, so. The show is growing, and I credit all of you who are listening because obviously you're the ones downloading and listening to it. I don't think it's
you're the ones that are putting up with us. So
yes.
Congratulations,
and we appreciate that.
You put up with us, we put up with Adrian.
Yes, that's the deal.
It seems like a fair trade-off, right?
I don't know about that.
But yes, take a sip of my water. How about
that? Just silence. Silence.
Yeah,
it's deafening.
Don't truncate that silence. Just leave the 30 seconds in there, Adrian.
Okay.
So yeah, there's people that listen to this. If you think hey, I'm the only person that listens to this, you're wrong because there's more than one.
At this point, there are dozens of not quite dozens.
I was looking because I was looking at the map on Libsyn. There were 6 states that have 0 downloads.
Do you know who they are? Did you remember?
I know Montana was one.
Fuck you, Montana.
I think Iowa was one.
Fuck you, Iowa.
Let's just burn all listeners that would ever want to listen to us from any of those states to the ground.
And then Maine, maybe. was another one.
Fuck you, Maine.
There's like 3 people that live in Montana,
Yeah.
so
Well, I'm going to a wedding in Montana.
Okay.
So maybe I'll try and find like some random board gamer and just be like, dude,
You're just
one
going to
episode.
download the episode there and you'll be like, now it's done.
does anyone have a computer I can use? Ignore this podcast. Just don't. Just delete it after I'm done. That's what we have to do. We have to go to all the states that haven't downloaded us
Yeah.
yet. Alaska? Do we have any Alaska?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got Alaska.
That's weird.
There's nothing else to do up there besides listen to podcasts.
Let's listen to this weird podcast from Denver about board games.
Yeah.
As I fight off this polar bear. Are there polar bears in Alaska?
Yes.
Are there? Okay.
It's the moose you got to watch out for.
Oh, that's very true.
So anyway, back to the topic at hand, our 1-year anniversary. What has been you guys' favorite thing about doing the podcast?
Tearing into Adrian every week.
Yep. No. Yeah.
No. Well, it's funny.
I don't know what I expected.
No.
Something deep and meaningful.
I expected nothing and was still disappointed.
I was disappointed.
Yeah. Were you hoping just like a strengthening of our friendship? Is that what you're hoping for?
No, I was hoping for something to make for interesting conversation.
I play more board games
Yeah.
than other stuff.
You sounded disappointed
No,
about
it's
that,
true.
Zach.
I mean,
Yeah, I
obviously
do
you want to play
play more
more
board games.
Battlegrounds, but not, besides that.
I play way more board games that I probably normally wouldn't play. I've been introduced to more games. Like Twilight Struggle was always on my like list of wanting to play, but then
Right.
like knowing people that own it and I can play with would be nice. All those crazy heavy games that Adrian makes us play,
Which
I doubt I would have played. Like I need to play the Gallerist, but I liked the Gallerist.
Yeah. Which I probably wouldn't have even played those games because like it was when we started first talking about doing a podcast, like before we started recording, when it was just kind of the early like faint glimmer of an idea. It was like I should listen to other podcasts to see what this is about. Heavy Cardboard was one of the first ones I found and started listening to, and I was like, wait, these games sound awesome. And that encouraged me to go seek them out and try them. So yeah, if we hadn't started talking about doing a podcast, I might not have ever found heavy games. I might still be like...
We've made a huge mistake.
Yes, we have.
I'd still be playing Smash Up or something.
I don't know which is worse.
I definitely still would not be playing some of the more randomy dice checkers because those frustrated me long before I figured out why. So, yeah, my favorite thing has definitely been getting like having a reason to actively like pay attention to the industry. And we've talked about in the past, like back before the podcast, like Zach was always just, I was like, all right, Zach, well, what's the cool new game that you're bringing to game night? Now I'm actually like actively paying attention and seeking these things out. And I'm like, ooh, that's a cool game.
That game only takes 4 hours. And it has trains? Yes.
Still only own one train game.
Soon, it's going to be all train games.
What is the one that you own?
Well, it's not physically my possession yet, but I've paid for tramways and it will be coming.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have Ticket to Ride.
No, I do not.
So you don't have that train game.
I like Ticket to Ride.
I have it.
Nothing wrong with that train game.
There's a place for it.
Yep.
I like the app.
Yeah.
So I play a lot more games that I probably wouldn't regularly play. I pay attention more to the industry. I spend more probably on board games now than I used to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gloomhaven ain't free. Not for all of us.
Especially when you go out and then buy every additional thing that you can for it.
That thing needs a fucking insert.
Yeah.
And the vinyl stickers will get you much more replayability out of it,
Indeed.
which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Makes it more worth your money.
And then spend another $25 on corrected XP and health trackers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Supporting the creators, what that's called, Jeff.
Absolutely. A plus.
I had something I was going to say like 4 times ago when Jeff kept going.
We just keep talking so Adrian doesn't talk.
Yeah.
For once.
That's the goal.
Because once he starts talking, it's going to be 20 minutes. Yes, Adrian.
What do you want to say?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Y'all killed it.
What about you, Zach?
I mean, I definitely played more games. I started focusing, basically more or less what you guys said, interacting with people too.
You were probably like, I don't know, the hardest of board gamer of our group.
I mean, maybe that would be a way of saying that. Like, just the most already in and like, looking out for things and trying to be like watching stuff on Twitter, watching stuff on board gaming and stuff like that. Yes, I was definitely that already. So that part didn't really change as much for me, other than now I have to do a report on this.
I have to do a fucking book report?
And I'd just say just interacting with people too is nice. Like having the couple people that are like, oh, like having the one guy that would be like, I recognize your guys' voices. I like listening to your podcast. I was like, wow, that was crazy.
That was easily one of the highlights of the year. Was like actually having a random stranger be like, wait, are you guys the Mile High Game guys?
Yeah.
Like, yes? Shit,
Yes?
what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
Are you here to murder us?
Another kind of side effect of the podcast is I'm way more active on social media. Like I had a Twitter and an Instagram account, and I guess I technically still have a personal one somewhere, but I never used them. Like I signed up, used it for like 2 weeks and got bored and ignored it. Mm-hmm. But now like that I run the Twitter account for the show, like I'm always on Twitter. Like
Yes, you are. Yes. I get those emails. I'll go on break at work and be like, why do I have 48 emails? Because you fucking responded to 48 people?
Yeah.
Do you work?
no. I mean, I do, but no.
I have like a day to do that. It's Wednesdays.
Watching machines like just do their thing. Like I
like
set it up, I hit start, and then I just watch it and play on my phone.
I have to read and delete all of these.
I appreciate that service you provide.
So I know what's going on, and then I can respond when people tear into Adrian, like thumbs up.
Yeah. Yes.
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah. I will love that.
Yep.
Like.
Retweet.
Oh,
Who's the tiny man in the middle?
God damn it.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I when I saw that picture, I was like, you know what? I'll go with the high road. I'm not going to say anything. Someone else said it. I'm like, good.
The best thing is, in the picture, the person kind of back and to my right is Jim from Punching Cardboard. Mm-hmm. He's like the tallest one there. And before, like when we were all kind of getting together and like the guy was fumbling with the phones to take the pictures, Jim totally like just put his hand, like his elbow on my head.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't think anybody actually got a picture of that because that would have been a great one too. Mm-hmm. I've learned a long time ago to just accept and embrace my height deficiencies.
I mean, you have to.
How tall are you exactly, Adrian?
I am 5'6".
I am 6'1".
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
6'3".
Paul is also
like
well over 6 feet.
Yep.
Kaiser's well over 6 feet. Most of our friends.
I think I've mentioned this before, but like I'm 6'1" and I feel short in our group of friends. So,
which is actually kind of an interesting thing because in most of my life, like I haven't regularly felt quite as short as I feel like in our game night group. We got a lot of tall motherfuckers in our game night group. And then Megan's brother was living here for almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
He was fucking tall. He hit his head all over the apartment. So
height issues.
So aside from being recognized at Genghis Khan, do you guys have any other highlights of podcasting that really stood out to you?
We got a press badge for Gen Con coming up here in like 2 months.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we can do with that.
Yeah, flash that shit around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Doing I don't know if it ever got released or not, but doing the little recording we did at Geekway was really fun.
Yeah, I don't know if Brandon is going to release that or not. I need to bug him about it. Because I played around with like some of the processing stuff, and I was able to get the audio passable. I mean, there's a lot of like random mic noise when somebody bumps a mic or moves it, but you can at least hear people talk, which is what I think most people care about.
Yeah.
When we used to play games after we recorded,
oh my god,
things something I miss.
We haven't done that from like
episode 5.
Yeah. We used to like play either a quick we'd play like a 2-hour game like before recording.
That's because we'd be like, and let's record, and now we're done. Like that was it.
Yeah.
We didn't have one. People got here on time, and then 2.
Yeah, I mean we used to
we didn't
meet
have
like
any prep
at
or anything.
6, and I mean when we first started, our mic stands were an Nalgene bottle and a goblet.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have nearly as much equipment to set up.
Yeah,
we didn't do hardly any pre-show prep. Like we just got here, turned on the mics, and let her rip. And then
we started it after Adrian farted. So.
God damn it. Yeah. Now, some of that, it'll be interesting to see how that kind of goes because starting next week, we'll actually be in more of a dedicated studio space. And by that, I mean I won't have anybody living in my guest room, so I'm going to move all the recording equipment in there, and we're just going to leave it set up permanently, so we won't have to do set up and tear down every night.
No.
That'll be nice.
We will no longer record in a kitchen.
Nope.
We will record in a
bedroom.
Which hopefully the sound quality will be a little better.
Maybe.
Might not be as echoey.
I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll hear the furnace less.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll miss that furnace.
No, you won't.
No.
All right. Well, you guys have anything else you want to share? Or anything? No.
I don't know. Podcasting's cool when people listen to you.
Yes.
Yes.
I had fun even when people didn't listen
did.
to us.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I've always just enjoyed this. Like, even getting ripped on. I've been made fun of my entire life. I a long time ago learned to embrace.
Yeah,
you've
learned to embrace a lot of things. Adrian.
I don't trust people who are nice to me.
Oh yeah.
At least you're broken in the right ways.
It's like, oh yeah. They rip on me because they're my friends, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's not because
That's why we do it.
Yeah.
We only do this because we hate you, and it's the best way to just tear into you at all times.
But no, I mean, I've enjoyed it from the beginning.
Definitely.
Like, it's not gotten, like, I mean, I'm still blown away by how many people actually listen to us. Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I just want it to come to a realization of like, oh, it's all fake. There's no way this many people actually listen to you.
Right.
You were fools for believing you.
You get a tweet from someone who has the Nelson picture from Cincinnati. It just goes haha, and then all our downloads just drop down to 5.
Everything's like 5. It's like, oh, we have a bug report that never got submitted, and actually you guys have like 5 downloads a week. Sorry. Yeah, you guys fucked up.
Yeah.
Soul crushing.
Yep.
Right on. Well, before we move on to the next thing and talk about the actual future of the show, one thing that I am kind of curious, what do you guys hope to see out of the next year? Like, kind of seeing like the trajectory we're on with downloads, and like Jeff, like you mentioned, we got the press badge for Gen Con. Like
2 press badges at next year's Gen Con. I don't know. More interviews with cool people.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Get more guests on.
That's definitely on the docket.
Yeah.
I just want to talk wrestling with Kyle from Sounding Board.
Yes. You mentioned that he's got a wrestling background.
Like, he was in ECW. He wasn't anyone like famous.
Right.
But,
fuck you, Kyle. Jeff's just like, he wasn't famous at all.
I think the industry term is a jobber, which is they usually do dark matches, which are not
all of that. As somebody who doesn't follow wrestling, that just sounds terrible. He was a jobber. He did dark shows.
They have matches that they just don't air, and no lights are on. It's just 2 people that you just hear.
No one can see what they're doing in the middle of the ring. Yeah, I just want to talk to him about wrestling. Like, he wrestled like Stone Cold before he became Stone Cold. Like, he's probably got some cool stories.
Back when he was just Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Or whatever the hell his real name is.
Steve Boston.
Yep, that's it. Got it. Nailed it. But yeah, getting more interviews with cool people in the area, in the industry, would be something I would like to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe try going on more other podcasts too. That'd be good.
Yep. And both of those are things that I'm actually really excited about joining the network here at the end of our first year. I think that's going to open up a lot of opportunities for us to work with some other awesome people in the industry. Mm-hmm. I know one of the other highlights from like doing the show has been getting to not only listen to Heavy Cardboard and find out about heavy games and get into those, I've actually had to go up there and play games with them a whole bunch and be on their live streams, which is awesome. And that's something I'd like to eventually kind of branch out into, is maybe doing some of our own, like, less serious and well done. Like, Edward prepares really well, and those live streams are, like, on point.
Yeah.
Ours are going to be a shit show. Mm-hmm. But they're going to be an awesome kind of shit show, because it'll be...
As long as we got good camera angles.
Yeah. Dutch everywhere.
Yes. 60s Batman the whole time. That was the part I hated the most about that original Adam West Batman. The Dutch angles.
The Dutch angles,
It's too much for me sometimes. Still a good fun show, though.
Yeah.
Adam West died.
R.I.P.
Womp, womp, womp.
Someone posted a very unfunny clip of, like, I laughed so hard at this Family Guy clip of Adam West. It's when he had the cat catapult.
Yeah, I saw that.
The cat crossbow.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was just dying laughing. And I was like, it was a pizza guy getting shot by Adam West with shooting cats out of a crossbow.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I guess that could be funny.
The only thing that was sort of funny was at the end was just he was picking up the cats back up, and he's just like Fluffy and blah, and then Paul, and he starts laughing. He's like, what a horrible name for a cat.
That's a human name.
Paul. That's like that was like, oh, okay.
Still love Adam West though.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, on that downer note, let's hear from another.
Celebrate the life of Adam West.
Yes, by listening to Patrick Hillier, the Hillier gamer, and what he has to say about the show. So here you go.
Hey, this is Patrick Hillier, the Hillier gamer. Happy anniversary to you, bunch of ass. It's amazing you made it this far. If it weren't for the puns, I wouldn't even be listening. Kidding, of course. Always enjoy your show. Once again, happy anniversary.
All right, Patrick. Thank you for that. I'm just so vaguely, slightly disappointed that he
Self-censored.
He censored his swearing. I mean, he still swore. You could tell the swears were there.
And then that Pennywise from It was right behind him the whole time.
Yeah.
It was a clown.
Yeah.
Honky noise.
Okay, yeah.
It was a clown. Terrifying clown, no less.
Yes.
Yes. And his name is Pennywise.
Yeah, I did know his name was Pennywise.
All right.
Yes. I'm real excited for the new It, by the way. Completely random aside. I'm really excited.
That has never happened on the show before.
No.
What are you doing?
No.
Getting us off track?
Yeah.
Shit, we
expected better of you, Adrian.
Jesus.
If I can't get off topic on the anniversary episode, when can I?
When you're just sitting in a corner by yourself.
Stare in the corner.
Yeah.
Very well.
Take your beer with you.
Go past that corner into that other corner over
Go
there.
into my small little Harry Potter cupboard
Yes.
beneath the stairs?
Yes. We've outfitted a bed for you.
You'll fit because you're short.
God. Eviscerating.
Yes. Does he have, should he be the most thankful for us being as popular as we are?
You know, I think that Patrick does deserve a solid amount of legitimate thanks for having us on the conversation thing, which he is kind of runs. It's part of the What Did You Play This Week podcast. And him and Brandon sat down with us back in, we recorded it in November. They released in December. And if you look at the graph of the downloads, there's a very strong correlation to that episode releasing and people actually paying attention to us.
I mean, as tribute, that's why we keep doing puns, because we all hate puns, but we just keep doing it for him.
He said that's the only reason he listens.
I know. I do too.
I have a...
I'm not good at puns.
No. It's not as bad as one of our friends who has a visceral reaction to puns.
Yeah, she gags.
Yeah.
When there's a solid pun.
Yeah.
I can appreciate a really good pun, and I enjoy really good puns. I get a bizarre sense of watching a B movie, shitty sci-fi
something
action
that would
flick.
be on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah. I get a weird pseudo disgust / enjoyment out of bad puns.
Oh, I love bad puns.
I do,
because when someone starts talking and they just stop halfway through because it takes them that long to register what you said, and they're just I just can't do it right now. I just gotta reload real quick.
Just gotta.
You enjoy breaking another human being.
I do. Yes. Yes.
I love them so much it hurts.
Yep.
It hurts more than I love it.
Oh,
but yes, I did when we were we could actually do this was after we were on his show.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the first time someone was like, "Hey, you guys are actually pretty good."
Exactly. Yeah.
Which we never thought about ourselves for 1 second.
Oh. And it took a while even after that before we accepted that might be true.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I got a hold of him. I mean, we'd only been doing it for a couple months back then, and I got a hold of him because they'd posted hey, if you're interested in being on the conversation thing, and I got a hold of him. I was like, hey, yeah, we're kind of new, but we'd be interested. And he emailed me back. He's yeah, I listened to a couple of your episodes. You guys seem cool. Come on the show. And we did the show with him, and the show was a ton of fun.
Yes,
I really enjoyed that show. And then he's yeah, it'll be a month or so before it releases. I'm all right, cool. We kept doing our thing for a month, and then he's all right, it's coming out. And that first day that it came out, I logged on to Libsyn and
we're
oh my god,
that number just keeps going higher.
Those numbers go that high?
Turns out they even go higher.
Yeah,
weird.
So no, thank you very much, Patrick and Brandon, for having us on the conversation thing back in the day. And
I was trying to find the specific date.
December 16th or something. It was mid-December.
Yep, I'm going.
But I will put a link actually in the show notes for this episode back to that episode. So if you're relatively new to us and you want to go back and see, when we made it big, so to speak.
It was right before Christmas.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can go back and check out that episode. It's a good episode. I had a lot of fun with them.
Yes.
So, All right. Well, for the next segment kind of thing on our anniversary, we got just all kinds of feedback. We got emails. We got a couple BGG posts. We got some stuff on Twitter. Just a whole bunch of different little things that we can kind of respond to. Some of them are questions. Some of them are just people saying nice things about us. And yeah, we'll kind of rock and roll with it.
So I have a couple emails.
Just a couple.
There are a couple emails here.
Are you going to say emails at Mile High Gamers
Yes.
for every one of them?
No.
Okay.
But at the beginning, I will. If you would like an email read out on the show, you can email us at emails@milehighgameguys.com, just like all of these fine people did. First one, I'm going to read these in chronological order, except
Yes.
for ants. I'm going to leave ants for the end, because it is the hottest of stats.
The hottest.
Yes. This one comes from longtime listener, Chris. Happy 50, year anniversary. Hey, guys. I figured I better send an email so Jeff has something to read and has more opportunities to say emails at Mile High Game Guys. I've been meaning to ask, is Jeff the one with the really loud Elmo laugh? I think I've ruled out Adrian. Maybe it's Zach. I only ask because I have a relatively low-pitched voice, but I get constant crap from my wife and friends for my high-pitched Elmo laugh. We have to stick together.
I'm pretty sure it's got to be Zach.
Yeah, it's definitely Zach.
It probably is, yeah.
No, it is Zach. Absolutely. There's no way it's me.
No, it's definitely not Jeff. And I think it's got to be you, Zach.
Yeah.
At times, there is definitely a high-pitched laugh that I can hear. They're shrilling.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious, guys.
Be honest. After a year of podcasts, is it still fun to record and edit these things? I don't know about editing, but it's fun to record.
Recording, yes. Editing, God, no. Editing has never been fun from the start. Editing is definitely a labor of love.
Yeah.
I love doing the show so much that it makes editing worthwhile. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy editing, but it's definitely not fun.
No, it takes a lot longer than you think it would.
Oh, God, yeah.
We have not revealed our production notes that I write down as we go throughout the episode each week. And I write down cuts and timestamps and all that stuff for them to edit. And whenever Zach does rules breakdowns, it's just a fucking mess of like cut here, cut this. So he's fucking just, I'm just going to put parentheses, just start here, end here, cut as you need.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Like, Zach, did you read this after you wrote it?
No.
For your 50th episode, here's a rant about why I love your podcast and what you should never change. Keep talking about games that you actually play and enjoy. There are 500 other podcasts talking about the game that was just released last week. They are boring to listen to. They sound like they are obligated to play the latest hotness, and it shows. You can tell when someone has only played a game once or twice and is trying to review it. They all sound the same. Every game they play sounds the same because I don't think many of them are having fun anymore. They had fun playing games, thought they would do a podcast about them, realized that it was a lot of work, fell into a rut playing games just so they could do a review on the same game that everyone else is doing a review about that week, then quit because it wasn't fun anymore. I don't want you guys to burn out. I really enjoy listening to you guys and would be fine just hearing about the fun times you had playing Terraforming Mars week after week. Keep MHGG unique. That said, because I'm a hypocrite, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this war of mine sometime. I backed the Kickstarter and it just arrived. Finding a copy anytime soon might be difficult, but if you get a chance, you should check it out. It's very different than anything else I've played. Mechanically, it's a little like Robinson Crusoe, but more soul-crushing.
I don't understand how that would be possible.
I do, because I played the PC game.
Oh, okay.
It can be a little heavy-handed with its message and definitely unique. It works better as a solo game, and I like it better with two. Pencil it in for episode 100. Keep up the great shows, Chris.
Yeah. So, we kind of answered earlier, like, we're definitely still having fun with this.
Yes.
I mean, like, we hang out for a few hours on a Monday night, drink, and just bullshit.
Yeah.
And we don't hold back. We don't filter ourselves. Like, that was part of why we, like, decided not to censor cursing. And we talked about that. Like, that was one of the first questions, like, Zach asked me. He's like, hey, what's going to be the cursing policy? And I was like, well, I mean, don't be egregious, but
then we were egregious.
Yes.
And then we realized that we are just egregious in our day-to-day lives. That was one of the things that, like, Brandon was talking about, like, from Geekway. like he thought one of the funniest moments was we were all playing Tramways, and like Paul was sitting there just cursing up a storm, and then looked over and realized that Brandon's like 10-year-old daughter was like asleep on the chair next to him. He's like, oh. Like, yeah, we aren't, that's where we have our social blinders on. We're not socially aware about, not everybody is as comfortable with swearing as we are.
Yeah.
We're usually at a brewery playing games, so that's like even when we get together like to like play games for like review, it's like, which brewery do we want to go to and play this game? Like we've been at Strange Craft playing Yokohama for the review. Fantastic burger truck that night.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so that's just kind of what we do.
That's like that's all of our friends are that way. We all swear and curse each other out when we're playing games at bars, and that's it's who we are, and that's
I can't describe a big enough bag of dicks that you need to suck.
Yep.
Both girth and length, just large bag of dicks.
And it's paper, and they stick out of the top like baguettes.
Yes. You sure it's not plastic and just mushed in there?
just like a lousy plastic bag of dicks.
Yeah.
just a bunch of hot dogs in a plastic bag.
Yeah.
Loose hot dogs.
See, so this is and that's something we're not going to change. You know, like it's definitely going to always be us. Like, yeah, we want to definitely like get review copies and do some of the latest and greatest, just because a lot of the latest and greatest is stuff that interests us.
Yeah,
and there's never been a better time to play board games.
Right.
Sometimes that latest and greatest is there for a reason.
Right.
And we would love to talk about those. But then we also want to play like, I don't know, fucking we'll review Hero Quest or something.
Yes.
God, if we could get a copy. Holy
I have
shit.
a copy.
Yeah, he has a copy.
Oh, yeah, you do. Do you have both the expansions?
No. Fuck no.
Okay, so
Those are expensive as fuck.
but I mean, like one of the upcoming games that I really want to make sure and review is Indonesia, which is like 10 years old. It's just a really good game. Zach's eyes just glassed over. I'm worried he might die.
Woeful.
Stopped breathing.
Sees it coming.
Does he have a pulse?
Now, as far as this war of mine, yes, I would absolutely love to get to play that.
I've heard some good stuff.
Very
I almost
close to backing it.
Yeah, I was also very close. I really liked the PC game a lot. It's a fantastic game. Some solid, like heart-wrenching story in there.
Yeah.
Some decisions that can really. It's like Slovakia, no, Serbian,
Something like that.
Yeah, it was like the siege of like Kosovo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it basically, but more like modern.
Right.
Modernized, and just like the civilian, like day-to-day life in a like besieged modern city.
War-torn city, yeah.
And then now you can play it in board game form.
Ooh.
I've heard it is best at solo by far. I've heard some people have some problems with like the game was designed solo, and then they're like, oh, we can play 4 players, but it's just breaking up the phases into what different players do. Like, oh, you get to do this phase, that phase.
Gotcha.
And then it's circular where you're not always doing the same phase with the same amount of players. I heard it's but solo, it's supposed to be good.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, and then Chris says he really likes it at 2 players. And I could see that, like, if you have somebody else, because sometimes, like, especially if it's really, like, kind of a powerful story, like, it can be nice to have somebody else there, so you could be like, wow, that was fucked up.
I just had to murder a child.
Yeah.
That kind of fucked up is that game.
Gotcha.
So yes, I would love to get our hands on a copy and check that out. So we will keep an eye out.
Absolutely.
But thank you for the fantastic email,
Yes, thank
Chris.
you.
And emails in the past.
And emails, I was going to say, and thank you for being a long time, not just listener, but actual, like, contributor, friend of the show.
Yes.
Definitely a friend of the show.
Yep.
So thank you, Chris.
Thank you. So, on to the next email. This email comes from Craig, titled, Hey, Jeff, Zach, and Adrian. Happy 50th MHG guys. Just wanted to say I love the show, and I got into board games last fall. And that's around the time when I found your podcast. Since then, I've listened to most of the episodes. I'm more into heavier types of games, so I think out of all of you guys, I have the most in common with the taste-wise would be Adrian.
I'm sorry
as well. The guy I probably have the least in common with personality-wise, also Adrian.
It's a little bit better.
Yeah. I kid! Exclamation point.
That's Jeff saying that,
yes.
not the.
Yeah. You're all great. To be honest, I'm more of a podcast guy than a board game guy, and you three have a fantastic podcast. When I first started listening, being new to the hobby, I didn't really follow everything that you were saying, but I enjoyed the banter and the chemistry and the jokes. Now that I know more about gaming, well, I still don't know what the hell you guys are talking about most of the time.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
But seriously, you're super informative and great fun to listen to. I love the various takes and contrary opinions / viewpoints you all bring. Congrats on the new network and 1 year of bringing joy to this guy's heart. Happy gaming, Craig.
Right on. Well, thank you, Craig.
Yes, thank you very much.
That was probably the nicest email we've ever gotten.
I know, right?
People love us.
I don't. Why?
Because we're good.
Is this where you get way too excited and we have to bring you down?
Yeah. Are you sure there isn't just like a massive drugging of people?
Yes. These 600-ish people.
Yep. Adrian, what have you been doing?
But no, I'm curious now. Like, so he said that he found us right as he was getting into the hobby. So I'm curious, like, where he ended up finding us. Because, I mean, back in November, like, we were still pretty new. That was before our big bump.
Where are people finding us from is what I want to know. Where did I guess.
Maybe.
Where did you people hear of us?
Yeah, send us some emails. Let us know where you first heard about the show. Did you find
we
us?
have no idea. We're not promoting.
We don't
unless
post on
you're
Reddit.
unless you're our actual friends, because then it would be like
game night.
Yeah, we told you.
Yeah,
we told you about the podcast. That's how you heard about it.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, ever since we started the show, I did change my like little tagging and put on your name on Reddit to the podcast name. So anytime I post on the board game subreddit, like, you know, it kind of promotes.
I think
the show.
there was
Twitter,
one time someone
live
posted
streams.
like someone was talking about a specific game and they posted like, hey, these guys have talked about that one game, but it was like such a super small board game thread, but it was a random person that we'd never heard of before.
Yeah, we've had a couple times fans have done stuff like that for us, which thank you, because that is easily one of the best things that you can do for us is, you know, spread the word. Like if somebody's talking about some board game we reviewed and you liked our review of it, be like, hey, check out their review of this.
Or if someone's like, hey, give us some links to some bad podcasts.
Or good podcasts.
And like, hey, here's this really shitty episode.
Yeah,
episode number 2. Gen Con episode.
Oh, God. Yeah.
If you want bad podcasting, listen to like episode 47 or something if you want a good episode.
Was his mic plugged in? I don't know.
So, but no, thank you, Craig, for the fantastic email. There weren't really any questions to answer in that one.
No. Just showering us with congratulations.
Praise.
I do like that we all don't have the same opinion on games.
I think that is definitely something that's pretty great about the show. We all three kind of have our own little like corners of the hobby that we poke sticks at the other ones from.
Yep.
And sometimes like we team up against each other.
Usually,
not very often.
Not with you, no.
I'm the one who's usually teamed up on. It's a glorious day when one of you sides with me.
Wait till Ant and I start playing Warhammer 40k 8th edition a lot. And you'll get some fucking opinions.
So, next email.
Email comes from friend and guest of the show, Wes, titled Episode 50. Hey guys, I'm sure I got the email address right. Jeff should say it on air a few more times during each episode, so it's sure to be seared into my memory better. Just, you know, it's emails at milehighgameguys.com. I was thinking the other day that wouldn't it be cool if the anniversary episode was a big cliffhanger murder mystery or something? Just a thought. It's where we murder Adrian, but it's not a mystery, so that kind of ruins it. Hope you're all enjoying that very special celebratory IPA I sent over with Adrian's name not at all suspiciously scrawled in Sharpie on 1/3 of the cans. Cheers, Wes. Where is this IPA?
So it's all part of the joke.
Gotcha. So he took the IPA.
No, so it'd be cool if the anniversary episode was a big murder mystery.
Oh, we murder you because you drank all the IPA.
It'd be a cool murder mystery. Hope you are enjoying the special beer without the name that's scrawled suspiciously on only 1/3 of the cans. He's saying he poisoned the 1/3 of the cans that were.
Gotcha.
Like, he marked them for me so that I'd be poisoned and dead and it'd be a murder mystery.
Why aren't you dead already?
Because it was all a joke and there was never any special beer with my name scrawled on it.
That wasn't anything to do with my question.
Yeah, just generally.
Generally, why aren't you dead?
Well, I mean, inside.
Well, you know, there's interior and exterior. We need to match both.
Yep.
No?
No? Okay. That's fine.
Where would you guys record? Your moist basement?
It would only be moist because you'd be dead in it. We can make this one moist.
Your basement is
Yeah, we've got
currently
water
moist, and
here.
I'm
We can
not
just
dead
throw it
in
on the carpet. It's fine.
Or his decomposing body.
Yeah.
I think I'm morbid. Thanks,
Wes
Wes.
did want you to die via IPA, so
He wanted to be the one to poison me and make it a murder mystery.
yeah.
He didn't want me just like stone cold murdered and rotting in your basement.
I mean, we don't know that. It's just an email. Like, we don't know what his thoughts are.
It's true.
Fair enough.
I do like that.
I just wanted the IPAs more than anything,
Right,
really.
yeah.
Zach doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. You would have just drank my third and then not died. So,
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've got an old college friend, Kate, in town, and she picked us up this growler of Sanitas that
Yes.
Jeff and I are both now enjoying.
Indeed.
While
Sanitas, very nice.
Zach continues to drink tap water.
I do like that this email is supposed to be only viewed by the specifically listed recipients. So,
Well, no one else is viewing
exactly.
it.
That's what I'm saying. I like that. So that's why we can't show anybody a picture.
From Wes, AIALEEDAPBDC.
BD plus C.
BD plus C.
At one point, did he just start to go, I'm just going to make shit up right now?
I mean, that's what those seem like. I don't think those actually mean anything.
I am looking forward to the next email that explains what all of those letters is at the end of your emails.
I really wanted to be somebody not Wes, though. I wanted to be somebody who actually knows. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Well, I
Wes
mean,
is all of these things.
He is an architect now. So
Well, see, you weren't supposed to say what he was. We all know what Wes is. It's a mystery, Zach.
I don't like mysteries. They're confusing.
Ruiner of things.
Yeah.
God.
Both him and Weird Al have a career in common. Weird Al was an architect before he was, Weird Al.
Cool. Next email.
Next email. This one comes from Alan, titled Ellipses, then the word ellipses, followed by more ellipses.
What would that sound like, Jeff?
Pure silence?
Yep.
Okay.
That right there. Yeah. That's good.
Oh, got it. All right. No, okay.
It's all in the eyebrows. Maybe Adrian will die.
I can only hope.
Yeah.
Oh, well on my way.
Alan says, according to Twitter, I only have a few minutes to submit this email. We started so late. You had plenty of time, really.
Well, he started so late, and he was also incredibly bad at time zones. He sent this at 4. I told him he had till 6.
Yeah. Yeah. You said it only like 6 hours early, so you're fine. According to Twitter, I only have a few minutes to submit this email. So I wanted, one, to say I really enjoyed the podcast, and I'm glad you guys gave away Imperial Settlers, since that's how I found out about the show. Little did I know my guilt for at least wanting to give the show a shot before entering the contest would lead me to finding a really enjoyable podcast and a chance to finally play the Gallerist. Congrats on reaching 50. It's been improving every episode. That's like saying we weren't perfect from episode 1.
We weren't.
That's objective fact.
Yep. But it looks like our guilt trip is working.
Absolutely. Since you guys do lists every 10 or so, will you guys do a personal top 10 episode? Like actual top 10? Not that weird we each do our own criteria top 10 thing from episode 10. Thanks again, and congrats once more. P.S. This weekend I won another free copy of Imperial Settlers. Now it's reproducing. Clearly, you have to give that one away on your own podcast or something. I don't know.
Or, turns out it is a deck builder. You could use them to make fancy decks.
Weird. Like all deck builders, you need 2 core sets.
Yes, correct.
Yep. But luckily, the expansions come with 3 of every card, so you're fine.
Yes.
So I believe for the top 10 thing, and correct us if we're wrong here, Alan. I think what he was saying, so I was looking back at those top 10 lists, and we kind of did like, that was almost more of like, what are our 10 favorite games, not what are like the 10 best games. And so I think he wants us to do a 10 best games, which I think would be a fantastic top 10 for...
I'll just copy and paste, and then
The
number
next
1
10.
will be Terraforming Mars, and whatever was 10 will just fall off the list.
I mean, if that's how you did your favorite games list, then sure. Mine, I think I can...
Well, yours would
change
Yours would
drastically?
change. Yeah, 8 different games. I would
even
say.
if we redid our favorites, mine would change drastically. My top list would also change because, like, I don't like although Hanabi's one of my favorite games, I don't think it's one of the best games made. Like, it's not one of the 10 best games that are out there.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorites, but it's not. It's still one of my favorites. So I think that would actually be kind of interesting. Like, throw away that whole games I would, like, what was yours, Zach? Like, games you would always play if you had the time.
Yeah.
Like, throw that out and, like, more of trying to be more of a objective about it. What do I think are the 10 best games?
I'll just go to Board Game Geek and go 1 through 10.
That is also not a source of objective fact. But yeah, correct us if we're wrong on our interpretation of that, Alan.
Or if you want to see something really brutal and interesting, try and make us all three agree on a top 10. Make one list between all three of us.
That sounds like you're just trying to say you want us to record a snuff film.
That's exactly what that would become. Talking about a murder mystery.
Yeah. One of my favorite podcasts is a Game of the Year podcast for GiantBomb.com. And they do a overall top 10 between like 8 people. And they have to talk out and agree on what are the 10 best video games of 2016. And it is always very interesting hearing everyone's arguments to why certain games should be on that list. Mm-hmm. And I think that would be an interesting listen if it was just one podcast.
Yeah, I know that like for 2016s we sort of did a little bit of that in the sense of like we we kind of combined like all 3 of these games were on each of our lists and like based on rankings like we could come out with like a top 3.
Yeah, but I think it would be interesting.
I would be up for doing that this year for 2017.
Well, now we've got friends in the hobby. Like we could probably put together like a 10-person group and have like a ridiculous Google Hangout,
and you would still mostly hear us because.
Yeah, because we're very loud and talk over other people.
Yes, we do.
Other people's podcasts are like they talk in turns. Like I'm done talking now. Your turn.
No. Like, shut up, Adrian.
Shut up. You're done talking now.
Well,
this is my time to talk.
I'm not, so I'm going to keep talking right over you because
our top 10 would just be all 3 of us talking at the same time for 30 minutes.
We're the Always Sunny of board game podcasts.
Yes.
We solve all problems by just talking louder and angrier.
Yes.
So who's the
getting drunker?
Who's the Dennis? I'm the wild card. Zach is the brains, and Adrian is the muscle.
There we go.
Wait, so that means that Zach is the Dennis because Dennis was the brains. In
Son
that
of a
setup.
And I'm Charlie.
Yeah.
I'll cut the brakes.
Which means I'm Mac.
At some point before we recorded, I also unplugged the mics. We've lost everything. Wild card, bitches.
It's also fantastic because if that all holds true and I'm the muscle, that means I'm Mac, which means all this beer I'm drinking, I'm just cultivating mass, baby.
Thank you, Alan, for your email.
Yes.
All right, and I think this comes to the pinnacle of emails that we've received over the last year. This one comes from Ant.
It's one of the best.
I have yet to read this. I saw it came. Okay. I had heard whispers of Ant doing whatever this is because I was in a car on my birthday with Ant and his girlfriend Julie, and Ant said, "Shut up. You can't talk about that in front of Jeff. It's about the podcast." And I was like, "Oh, what is he doing?" I don't know if he used the word "shut up." It's just like, yeah. So it begins. Happy birthday. This email is titled. I gotta get a timestamp for that though. Happy birthday. Hey guys, congrats on a year. You always joke about how you never thought anyone would listen, but clearly people like the show. I mean, there are preteens that have millions of YouTube followers, so I'm not really sure what you expected.
When you put it like that.
Yeah. Clearly, why don't we have more?
Why don't we have more preteens?
Oh, God.
Anyway, I wanted to give you guys a gift for your celebration, so I re-listened to every single episode, excluding the audio train wreck of episode 2, which, is that still available for people?
It is.
Okay.
Have fun.
Everyone goes back to episode 1, then listens to 2, and then are like, done.
Yep. Fuck these guys.
And I wanted to bring you guys some hot stats. In 1 year, you guys have managed to say hotness 41 times on air. Now it's 42 or something. Yep. Adrian has said it 24 times.
Sounds about right.
Jeff has said it 10 times with an additional 2 from reading it off an email. And Zach has said it a whopping 4 times. Also, 1 additional one from Dave in the interview with Time Well Spent. More importantly, you guys have said doo-doo 7 stinking times. Adrian with 3, Zach with 2, and Jeff with 2. Add 1 bonus doo-doo being dropped by Dave in the interview.
Just right in the middle of it.
Yep. That being said, it has been proven that Adrian is the undeniable MHGG king of steaming hotness. I look forward to being on your show again to share the word of Nuffle. Cheers, Ant. P.S. I've included timestamps for each instance for fact checking.
All right, read them off, Jack.
No shit did.
Literally, like episode 6, Adrian, what? Hotness, timestamp, 14 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yep.
Jeff, hotness, 25, 45. The nice thing is we've been slowing down. In episode 27, hotness was said 6 times.
3 times by Adrian, 2 by Jeff, but he was quoting, and then one by me.
Zach. Yeah.
I don't really know what the timestamp is for number 29. Adrian Doodoo 7:49:00.
Yeah. That wasn't a 7-hour episode, so
I know ours have gotten longer, but
that's
that was 7 minutes and 49 seconds.
I think it's also interesting that of my 4 doo-doos, 2 of them were in the same episode. Episode 36.
We say hotness a lot, apparently.
Adrian says it a lot.
What? Most of the time I say it ironically, though.
I don't know about that.
I said it 10 times.
Because I talk about like, oh yeah, this Kickstarter is like the hotness. Like
you're like, this Kickstarter is the hotness. No. That's what it sounds like.
No.
That's what you sound like.
Shut up.
That's what you sound like.
Don't make me Elmo laugh at you.
Thank you, Ant, for listening to all of that all over again.
Now I know where all those downloads came from. So we are not nearly as popular as we thought.
The email next week's going to be like, haha, I downloaded each one 600 times to make you think that you were popular. But yes, Ant will be on because we have to review Blood Bowl at some time in the future.
Yep. And then, we're obviously going to have him on for more of your league stuff. We'll probably have him on for some Gen Con episodes with Pandepic.
Yes.
Which he and I are co-creators of. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Ant will definitely be on the show.
I'm only the one that sweats to death in the hot hazard suit when you actually play.
Yeah, but they can't see your face, so.
Yeah, so it doesn't count, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Correct. So, all right, well, that wraps up emails.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
Yes.
If you would like an email to be read out on the show. Thoughts, opinions.
Before we move on to some BGG and Twitter stuff, though, we have another audio clip to listen to. So we are going to cut away to Of Dice and Men with their clip.
This is Chad, Ryan, and Adam from the Of Dice and Men show. Just wanted to congratulate you guys on your 50th show, 1-year anniversary. That's awesome. And I got to tell you, we are totally jealous that you guys can swear on your show because we can't because we're on the radio. So let's just get this out of our system. Fuck this shit. God damn it, shit. Fuck
that asshole.
God damn it. We are so jealous of you guys. You're fucking assholes.
Huge fucking assholes.
Huge.
Gigantic,
gaping. This is fun. We have to get off the radio. We need to get on just a regular podcast.
Yeah. So fuck you assholes on your anniversary.
Check out ofdiceinmen.ca and see all our shows and stuff. Bye.
That was definitely the most truthful one.
Yes. Gaping assholes we are.
Indeed, gaping assholes.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't deny it.
No. Adrian's still taught yet malleable. So.
Which is funny considering I'm the oldest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not always youth.
It's use.
Yeah, use.
I like that they really, so far of all the people who have chimed in, they really embrace the core of what this show is.
Cursing.
Which is just rampant, unapologetic cursing.
Yeah.
Are we literally the only people that curse on podcasts?
For board gaming ones, probably.
Really?
Well, and especially as the way we curse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I heard somebody say crap. I think I heard.
Ooh.
So Crystal from Board Game Blitz said crap on her most recent episode.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Oh, no.
A couple episodes ago, Mike Reesley said "damn" on the "What Did You Play This Week" podcast.
Hot damn.
They are
Hot
off.
damn.
They off the hook.
Yeah.
See, the thing is though, is those ones stand out because nobody expects it. I feel like everybody just expects us to swear. We're gonna have to get more inventive in year 2 with our swears. So
Don't you threaten me with swearing more.
So let's like work together and find like all the best like Australian swear words that don't exist in English.
I mean, some of those swear words might cross a line for some people.
No.
But like they have an etymology. Entomology is insects. Etymology is words.
They
Basically
do have
the same thing.
They
Don't
do
worry
have
about
a lot of entomology down there.
Yeah. We just need one of those, but for curse words.
Yep. That's what we need Andrew for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tell me all of the Roman curse words.
I was going to say Roman curse words.
How do we curse in Latin at each other?
I mean, we had Doc Logan earlier with his little Spanish segment.
I really hope that he was just having his kid curse at us and we just couldn't.
I know a lot of Spanish curse words, so, we can just move down that path.
Indeed. Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank
being
you.
on the radio is cool. You can't curse.
No, that is awesome.
And they clearly have voices for radio.
Yes.
I'm not sure if they have faces for radio.
I remember hearing like someone said that they have the face for radio and a voice for written.
That was Eric.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yes.
That was Eric.
Face for radio and a voice for written word.
So they've got 10 episodes out now, or something like that. And so I've been listening, and they definitely all have like a similar kind of like deeper, smooth, like I said, the voice.
This is how we talk on the radio.
And so I'm starting to sort out like who's who voice wise on the show, but I still haven't figured out one of them sounds so much like Jeff Goldblum when I listen to their show.
Are you sure it's not Jeff Goldblum?
Well, I mean, he could have a pseudonym because none of the names that they say are ever Jeff or Goldblum. But yes,
screw this movie star thing. I'm going to make a radio show about
I'm going to go to Saskatchewan and make a board game public radio show.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him.
I actually wouldn't either. That sounds like very much something Jeff Goldblum would do.
Coming up in Mile High Game Guys Year 2, public access television. We got to break into TV.
Yep.
You can curse on TV, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Especially public access, right?
Yes.
No.
You can say fuck as long as it's not in an actual sexual connotation. Once.
Or what does FCC call it? Like a not flippant cursing or... there's a word.
know.
There's a
I'm
word
not
for it.
familiar with
When someone
FCC
curses on the
regulations.
Oscars, they're like, they get away with it because of something or another. I don't remember what it's called.
Because they fuck it, we're doing it live and don't have time to edit it.
It's the reason. It's the reason that like the NFL doesn't get fined when like Brett Favre says, "Oh fuck."
Right.
Heat of the moment for Brett Favre.
Yeah.
God damn it, Donald from Peyton Manning. That's one of my favorite NFL players swearing. But all right, well, anyway, to keep this,
I feel like most of this episode has just been us talking about cursing. I feel like that's pretty much it.
We're really just nailing down the core of our beliefs.
Yes.
Considering almost everybody who's chimed in audio-wise has been like, "Oh yeah, we can fucking curse."
And that's where I'm like, do we curse more? Like
Too much?
other podcasts clearly tone it down.
Oh yeah, no.
Yes.
I don't know any other podcast that curses really at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Explicit.
Oh yeah,
is what we are.
We earn that R rating on punchboardmedia.com. Mm-hmm. Every day we put in the work.
Even when no one's listening, we're just by ourselves. We're just fuck. If you've ever seen The Wire, in the scene, have you guys seen The Wire?
No.
Oh, there is a scene in the first series, the first season, that is a 5-minute conversation of two detectives looking at a crime scene. They only use the word fuck. They say it like 100 times. But you can tell the entire tone of their, like, they have an entire conversation, and it is an amazing scene. There's just like,
I've heard I should watch The Wire.
Fuck. motherfucker. But it's really great.
Well, that's like Boondock Saints. They have the old guy with Tourette's, and they gave him the generic, like, oh, I swear a lot, Tourette's, but whatever. But he says fuck like 7 times, like in a sentence. And the one guy's like, wow, certainly illustrates the diversity of the word.
Or that South Park episode where they say shit like 159 times.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're not the only people on the planet who swear.
No, I'm sure there's many people that swear. I'm sure a lot of these podcasters swear, just not on air.
I mean, that's what it seems like.
Do.
Yes.
All of the ones I have met do.
Yep.
So, but yeah, moving on. Zach, you put up a thread on our BGG guild.
I did.
Guild number 2731. I realized after the fact, like this was kind of a arbitrary thing we decided to do. We should have, we didn't talk about it last episode. So like, I think a lot of our listeners might not have known, and tweeting clearly didn't get the word out enough.
You clearly need more followers.
So if you're hearing this now and you want to participate in this, it's kind of we put it up as like an ask us anything kind of thing. If you're familiar with Reddit, they do AMAs. So it's like an ask, which is an ask me anything, but it's the 3 of us, whatever. So if you want to ask us things, feel free to go back to this thread and ask any random bullshit, and we'll do like a follow-up next episode too, just to catch up on any ones we missed. But Zach, take it away.
Yeah. So this is from Mike. Congrats on 1 year of podcasting.
He saved the entire thread, by the way. Thank you, Mike. He saved the entire thread.
Yes. A few questions that I can chip in with. What games, after Terraforming Mars, do you wish you could play more often, but can't seem to make the time for?
Food Chain Magnate.
Eldritch Horror.
Indonesia.
Or Tales of the Arabian Nights.
Jeff's got nothing. We both listed 2 games like instantly.
Yeah.
And Jeff's like,
Probably maybe Twilight Imperium.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
I'd play
Yeah,
that
I'd
one.
buy
Mechs
that
vs.
one.
Minions, too.
Yeah.
Mansions of Madness, too.
yes. Yes.
Warhammer 40,000.
If you guys could plan a Mile High Game Guys con, what would it look like?
So I had the wild idea of doing it at a brewery, but everywhere has a liquor license only till 2, so they lock us in overnight, and then we drink them dry.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be one way to go about it.
That is an opinion, Jeff.
I mean, realistically, like, if I was going to do my dream kind of thing of this, so like, Heavy Con is close to, and not necessarily the type of games. I see your eyes already glazing, Zach.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the type of games that are played. I'd want to do it something like that, though, where combine our 1 year anniversary or our tabletop day Saturday events where we get like 100 people that roll through, play a bunch of games, we do giveaways, all kinds of shit like that.
Sweet raffles.
Yep.
Sweet fucking raffles. So I'd want to do it at a brewery, for sure. I'd want to do it at a brewery that was somewhere where there was good lodging nearby, so we could have some people come in and they could have places to stay within stumbling distance of the brewery. Because you don't need, people are going to be too drunk by 2 a.m. to keep playing games. Nobody's going to play games 24 hours at the brewery, Jeff.
That's true. Well, we need
The
Site
idea
A
is solid,
and Site
but-
B. We have Jurassic Park and The Lost World.
Yes.
So I'd want to do something like that, like a 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend, where like we go to the like somewhere maybe where there's multiple breweries, so we could do a different brewery each of the 4
Tops.
days.
Yeah.
It'd be a little bit of a pain to organize moving everything around, especially if you're doing it as a convention, because you'd want to have like a game library and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's a pain, but I don't know. That's how I would, if I could do a dream one, that's what I would do. Maybe get like a big cargo van that's the game library, so it's just a mobile board game library.
Yeah.
Come into this white van and look at these.
Enter here. It's just got free board games painted on the side. What is, I guess, if someone's going to kidnap me at 32 years old, it's going to say free board games on the side.
So yeah, something like that. I don't know.
I'm 32 now, right?
Yes, you are.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
Because you're like a month younger than me, and I'm definitely 32 now.
Okay.
All right. What game has been on your shelf of shame the longest?
So are you guys...
Munchkin the board game for Zach.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Are you... No, well, because you've played that.
Oh, okay.
But it's still
Shelf-
shameful.
No, well,
Well,
yeah,
it
it's
is
a different kind of shame.
Kemet
Typically,
for me.
this is what game you have had that you have not played.
Oh.
Kemet for me.
Panamax for me. I said it would come back around. This is where it was. Panamax is the game. It's the only game I own that I have not played. Jeff?
I might have to go to my collection on BGG because there are maybe Puerto Rico, like for legendarily good.
Just game you own that you have not played.
Like Not even necessarily your copy, just you've never played that game.
Through the Ages.
You've never played Through the Ages?
Nope. I've owned it for over
All right,
2
then
years.
Yep, that one wins.
And I have
Congratulations.
never played it.
Yep. Any more stories of mid-game floor slapping outbursts?
No, I got that shit under control.
He did.
I reined that in. It was a one-time experience.
Caverna, which we're reviewing soon.
Which it wasn't even like I wasn't even that angry. I was very much like just acting out, like being ridiculous.
Yeah, well, and you were, and so
yeah,
you made an impression.
You made an impression.
It turned into this thing like I was so mad I slapped the floor. I was never like that mad. It was just
we don't bring it up enough anymore, really.
No, because I called you out on it. I was like, guys, you're making me seem really bad the way you talk.
So
about
yeah,
this.
Adrian's censoring us, by the way. Yes.
I edit out every reference of it.
Yes. Well, it's good that Zach doesn't.
They're not going to hear this at all, right?
Never.
Okay. Soon, coming soon. More floor slapping.
Where do you want to see yourselves in the board game media in 5 years?
Oh, 5 years.
Getting hordes of review games.
I want to be playing games on a stack of board games. Like, I don't want a table anymore. I just want a stack of board games in the center of my kitchen.
Big enough for people to value our opinions on stuff.
Yes.
Find us entertaining enough to where they want us to talk about their stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Be valuable to the industry.
I mean, that's the main thing. And it's not so much like, because I think there are people who already do think our opinions are valuable in games. I would like to get to a point where people in the industry, like actual producers, are aware that we exist.
Yes.
That's what I was meaning.
Yeah. I figured that was what you were meaning. I just wanted to clarify that, yes, fans, we realize that you guys value our opinions.
They care?
That would probably be my number one thing that I want long-term for the show is to get some industry
recognition, awareness.
I think is better than recognition.
Yeah,
you know, I don't need to be like the secret cabal where people are asking me to be on a panel at Gen Con. Like, I just want, like, every once in a while a producer or a designer is making a game, they're like, hey, I think this would be a good fit for one of the three of you.
And what I value more is, like, I really like your show. I wish you guys would talk about this game.
Yeah,
more than anything.
Yes.
Yeah, and one thing that I really hope, like, that we can keep doing, and I think is a strong suit we've talked about a little bit, that we all three have fairly different tastes. And so I hope that that's something that as we grow and kind of get more into the industry, that designers and producers can appreciate, that they can know that they'll send it here, and, like, one of us might tear into the game. Like, one of us might really not like it, but we're going to be fair and honest about our reviews. Like, we're not gonna sugarcoat it. We're not going to necessarily all sit around and circle jerk over some game unless, like, it's Terraforming Mars and it's actually just that good.
Yeah.
You know, Stephen Bonacore has not paid us a cent. We have paid for every copy of Terraforming Mars that we own.
Yep.
Like,
some more than others.
So, you know, I mean, there will be some games, I'm sure, that we will all like, but we're not, just because somebody sends us a game, we're not all just going to gush over it. Like, there's a good chance that somebody could send us a game and we'll be like, I mean, Yokohama was our first review copy, and like I said, like, it's a good game, but I don't know if I'm going to play it very much after this. Like, I think it's going to end up a game on my shelf that never gets pulled. So
we'll see.
But yeah, so like,
especially since I got my copy that's all deluxe of it.
I don't think we even talked about that.
No, we didn't. Zach went out and bought the deluxeified version.
It spent more than I would have cared.
Spared no expense.
Yes, but it looks really great. So
it does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that I would hope 5 years down the road that people
value
in the industry
us.
value that they will get a fair and honest review from us. It might not always be positive, but it'll be fair.
Yep. Yeah. How long before Adrian rage quits the show with all of the insults? And can you make sure to get it on tape?
2
yes,
weeks.
We will.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I guarantee I'm not going to make it through the Indonesia review. I barely made it through Food Chain.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to make sure, like, I bring down, like, some other heavy game, like Paul.
Nope,
Edward.
Paul won't come on here. Nope. It's not for that.
For Indonesia.
Support group?
No.
Yes.
It's just going to be, you're going to be in a corner, and me and Jeff are just going to be berating.
Just throwing rotten fruit and vegetables at you.
Shame.
But yes,
Shame.
yes, Mike, it will all be recorded.
Oh, yeah. Adrian, what do you think of the Broncos' off-season moves? Worried about a quarterback next season?
All right, so this episode's already long, so I'm not going to go way too in-depth on this. But Overall, I have been pretty happy with the Broncos offseason moves. I think we've picked up some pretty solid players. I think we've done a good job of shoring up both our O-line and our D-line. Our defense looks already much better. And it was, aside from the D-line itself getting gouged on the ground, the defense overall played really well last year. I think the secondary is still going to be the best in the league. Quarterback situation, I'm not terribly concerned right now. I mean, Paxton Lynch, I'm not sold on yet, but...
He was in our store.
Really?
Yep.
Cool.
One of my bosses got a picture with him.
Cool.
Hi, Josh.
So Paxton Lynch, they drafted him for a reason as high as they did, and the team certainly seems to have a lot of faith in him. I haven't seen any of that on the field yet myself, but, in Elway we trust. But I do really like Trevor Siemian. I think that he is more than serviceable. A lot of people have compared him to like Kyle Orton, which, I mean, as a Purdue fan, I loved Kyle Orton. I realized he wasn't the best NFL quarterback, but whatever. I had a soft spot in my heart for him. I think that Siemian is definitely more than Kyle Orton as a quarterback. I think Siemian could actually, be pretty solid in this league. And so, no, I'm not worried about the quarterback for next season. I'm really glad we didn't go for Tony Romo. I'm also pretty glad at this point that Brock Osweiler took a whole bunch of money and ran away, and then is already traded away from that team and is just now spiraling around the league. Trying
to land somewhere.
Yeah, I think that overall this team makes pretty good decisions. I'm ever since John Elway came back on board as an executive, he's I think got the team headed in the right direction. And even if we don't win a Super Bowl every year, I feel confident that we are making the best moves for the team and that we will consistently be competitive. So, no, I'm actually really looking forward to next season. So that's my thoughts on the Broncos.
I have none.
That's how I feel about Blood Bowl. I could talk like that about Blood Bowl for a while.
Yeah. And so he finishes up with great work this past year and years to more years to come. Also, can you guys share what you're drinking if you drink when you record?
Which we did.
Yep.
Indeed. We are drinking right now. Jeff is finished with his double skull, and he is now also partaking of the Sanitas IPA.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thanks, Mike. And then we also had a short one from Paul. Just congrats on the 1 year. Look forward to seeing the growth over the next year.
As friend of the show, guest of the show.
Who also apparently does not read the fucking post that says, this is an AMA, ask us questions. Jesus, Paul. Get it together.
Also, the post is well written. You should at least go and read all of the edits that Zach threw in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
First of all, item 2, C.
Yep.
Those are 3 different points, by the way.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Board Game Geek.
Fun questions.
Yes.
Indeed. We had a Twitter question come in as part of this kind of AMA thing. And it is from Matt over at Cardboard Carnage, based out of Wichita, Kansas, where I kind of sort of grew up. We met him at Geekway.
Yes.
And he says, congrats on the 1 year Annie. Have you ever thought of 1, hitting the ceiling with a broom like an old lady during your podcast when the neighbors make noise? And 2, do the dancing on the ceiling routine with Lionel Richie blasting to return the favor? Later, amigos. No, I actually have not thought of either of those, but we should do that in the future.
There's not a broom over here, so
there's a broom back in the Harry Potter closet.
Okay.
And I've got my, next time we'll just make sure and have my Alexa turned on and be like, Alexa, play Lionel Richie.
Yep.
Hello.
And then
dancing on the ceiling.
And then we'll just defy gravity and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, yep.
Defying Gravity, Wicked. We can play that too.
Exactly.
There we go. So, but yeah, thanks for chiming in there.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks everyone that sent in all of those things across
Everything
all of our
ever,
different forms of social media.
Yep.
Or emails. I guess that's not social media.
No, that's like, old person media.
Oh yeah, old person. That late 90s. And then
we need to set up like a P.O. box so that some people can send us like actual letters.
Yeah.
Or just pictures of
with a potato with an address carved into it.
Yes. So, yeah. Well, I think that kind of starts to wrap up what everybody's thought of things.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to get in touch with us, then you can do that through a variety of means. Jeff, how would somebody email us?
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
If you wanted to tweet us at MHGameGuys.
I'm Zach_MHGG.
And I'm Jeff_MHGG.
And we're on Facebook and Instagram at Mile High Game Guys, Board Game Geek Guild 2731, where Zach does a weekly post about upcoming episodes and what we're going to be talking about. So check those things out. So we have a little bit more we're going to talk about. I know the episode is running long. It's an anniversary episode, but we have some announcements for
Extra large size
episode.
But we have other things to talk about.
Yeah,
that extra large size.
The future of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So before we get on to all that, we have one more audio clip to share. Now this one's going to be interesting because none of us have heard this one because it came in mid-recording from Brandon over at What Did You Play This Week.
All right.
So we are going to listen to that, and then we will be right back. So hang on.
Hey, this is Brandon from the What Did You Play This Week podcast, and from all of us here at the What Did You Play This Week podcast to you guys there at Mile High Game Guys, congratulations on making it one fucking year. Rock on, guys.
Everyone feels such freedom.
Yes,
we just
glad.
free everyone
swear,
from their constraints.
I know, right?
It's like the darkness of chaos introduced into their souls.
I also I appreciate Brandon. Short and succinct.
Yes.
Just
well produced. Background music.
Yeah.
Yeah. really went above and beyond there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And as we thanked Patrick earlier after his clip, thank you for being, I think, very instrumental in kind of giving us a much needed, things were going along and then,
yeah, thanks for
there's
legitimizing us.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
They'll regret it someday. When the lawsuits and court cases come around,
They were the cause.
When
We learned it from them.
When the FCC just goes around and just shuts down everybody who ever had anything to do with us.
laws will be passed.
That just means we had an impact on the world.
Yeah, we affected the board game hobby by shutting down all of these wonderful podcasts.
That, post-sentencing, pre-jail interview of we really had an impact.
I wanted to make a difference, and we did.
All right, so we will try to keep this as brief as possible.
Only the most important part of this episode.
Yes. Unlikely, I know, right? The most important part. So we have been talking here for the last couple months leading up to this and trying to make some plans for the future of the show. Mm-hmm. And back at our last giveaway, when we did Imperial Settlers, and most of our giveaways, we've asked people to give some feedback, like to earn an entry into the giveaway. Jump on and give us some feedback about the show. And very consistently, we get feedback that I feel can be divided into two groups. The one major complaint, and this is pretty much across the board, people are like, your show's long. Mm-hmm. That's the most common complaint we hear, is that it runs long. And then here we are, probably after editing, we're probably still over 2 hours.
Yep. Yeah.
And so we get that. There's a lot of longer podcasts out there, but whatever.
Some of my favorites are very long.
Yeah, and same with me. I mean, I listen to podcasts that are regularly well over an hour to 2 hours.
Sometimes 3 for me.
Yeah.
But not everyone.
Not
can
everyone.
listen to a podcast that long.
No, especially not once a week.
Yes, and that's the other side of that is, some of those longer ones are bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Which really just goes to show how much content we put out.
Yes.
It might not be worthwhile content.
The highest quality.
But then otherwise, it seems like there's a decent amount of people who really like the banter. As we heard from some of the people who sent us emails and things, congratulations on 1 year. They feel like,
they love us. They love our personalities.
Yeah.
They love our chemistry. They want to hear us talk to each other.
Yes.
And shred Adrian to pieces.
Mm-hmm. Also,
tiny, short pieces.
Also,
shorter pieces.
Shorter
pieces. Also, yes. And then there is definitely a side that really likes the actual content we put effort into, like our reviews.
We put effort into those?
I mean,
I guess.
Sure.
It's, you know what? It's just so good. It seems effortless.
Yes.
Yes.
And so we have, and especially where we do topical stuff like Kickstarters and news, that makes sometimes going back and listening to an old episode that makes a third of the show essentially not relevant.
Right.
I can listen to all these Kickstarters that ended 6 months ago and are now shipping, and now I'm just sad because I missed out on them.
And they said you need to kickstart this, and it's like, well, it's too late.
So what we are going to do is, some of you have noticed, we tend to run in 10 episode blocks. Every 10 episodes, we do like a top 10 on the 10s, and then we mix in some reviews across there, and that's how we kind of plan out the show. So starting with the next 10 episodes and potentially going indefinitely, unless we get drastic feedback that says, no, this is a terrible idea, we are going to be splitting the show into 2 episodes each week. We are going to have the first episode, which will continue to release on Wednesdays, and that will be our timely episode. It will contain our banter section where we just bullshit about whatever the hell we want to bullshit about. And then we talk about
Battlegrounds,
topical news and Kickstarters that are like time sensitive kind of situations.
Stuff that we just want to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that one, like I said, we're going to release that pretty much like 2 days after recording. Like we work on kind of a obscene turnaround time too.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yep. So
like 6 a.m. Wednesdays? Like
3 a.m.
6 a.m. Eastern.
Eastern, yeah.
You're welcome, Eastern time zone.
Yes. I want it available to download before people drive to work on the East Coast.
Yep.
Is what we shoot for. So we're going to do that. And then the second half of the episodes, we're going to kind of split off into their own that will probably be released more on Thursdays, probably Fridays.
Thursdays or Fridays, yeah.
And that's going to be reviews and discussions and more things that are timeless in their quality. So that at any given time, if you...
Why did you have to put that inflection on it?
It's not a soap opera.
Yeah. Because I knew it would get a reaction.
You're not a Southern Belle.
For that. But yeah, so we figure our reviews and discussions and things are things that aren't necessarily quite so time sensitive. You know, like our review of Yokohama is going to apply to Yokohama now and a year from now.
Yeah.
And then not 2 years from now when the world ends, but, you know, at least till then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're going to release those a little bit later. Give us a little bit more time to really edit them up and really make sure that they are top of the line. And
I mean, if we start drinking at the beginning of part A, we will still be as drunk at the end of part B. So it's still kind of one giant.
We'll be recording them all.
We're planning on recording still on Mondays.
Yes.
Mondays are the days that we all have available in the evenings, and so Mondays will continue to be recording day. We'll record both episodes. We will fast release the timely one.
We just have to be more mindful of our timeliness on episode B.
And yeah, so we're going to do that for 10 episodes. And then we will give everybody a chance. And feel free at any point during this to be like, hey, it's working. Hey, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's a disaster.
Yeah, we're going to take listener feedback into
We got 6 downloads. 2 of them were us because I don't download it.
I knew it.
This will also help to lighten the workload because knocked over a water bottle.
It's fine.
It will help lighten the workload a little bit because editing a 2.5 to 3 hour long podcast takes most of my Tuesdays.
We should really take pictures of all of these notes I have to take every week.
Right. And so...
And also my Tuesdays, too.
Well, and then recently, because leading up to this, I've been teaching Zach editing, and so Zach has been editing the last few episodes. And so we're going to split editing duties so that we'll each edit essentially half of an episode. And we're hoping that will free up some free time for all 3 of us. Well, for me. Zach will take on some of the duties, which will take some of his free time.
Yep.
I will gain some free time, and Jeff will just continue doing Jeff things.
I wrote all of the Wednesday stuff last week. Twitter, Facebook.
Yep.
I fixed our Facebook page.
It's a team effort over here.
You're there just in case something goes wrong, Jeff. That's
damage control.
Yeah.
There's a lot of damage, to be fair.
Yeah.
And then this way you'll have shorter episodes to download and listen to. It'll, save you on data usage to download episodes not on Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Or you just don't want to listen to a 2-hour episode of us talking.
Yeah.
Some of you might enjoy that. Some of you might not. If you do, just download both and listen to them back to back. If not, you can just listen to the hour-long thing.
Because I know I had seen some people say, like, I don't really care about the Kickstarter or news stuff, but I do like the reviews. So it's, we have the review. Hopefully it'll help people
find what they want.
Exactly.
We always have very detailed timestamps
Yes.
For anyone that wants to skip around to what they like.
Yeah, and that's one of those things, and that's why we're kind of doing this as a limited trial. We're planning on this being the future of the show, unless we get overwhelmingly negative feedback.
Because a lot of positive feedback people have had about shorter podcasts, like 30 minutes, like super popular. Everyone loves a little 30-minute.
Yeah.
I love the epic scale podcasts, but not everyone does.
Yeah.
I'm not everyone.
No, you
Yet.
are indeed one person.
You're unique, just like everybody else.
Yep.
So the important side of this is let us know what you think. If you like this move, if you're somebody who, oh yeah, I mainly listen for the reviews and it's great that I don't have to listen to some bullshit Kickstarters. Or if you're like, your reviews, honestly, I don't give a shit what you guys think about a game.
I just want to hear about chicken dinners.
About chicken dinners. Then let us know kind of what you guys think about this. And we'll see how it goes.
Indeed.
So that's change number 1. Or news number 1. That's really the only change.
That's the only change, yeah.
News 1.
News 1.
Now on to News B.
Correct.
Yeah.
News B, we are launching our Slack channel.
Ooh, fancy.
And so this is one of those things we've been a part of. There's a Slack channel for Punchboard Media that we've been a part of for the content creators that are part of Punchboard Media to collaborate on. I've joined the What Did You Play This Week podcast Slack and drug Zach along.
Yep.
I'm part of 3 heavy cardboard Slack channels.
I can't even pay attention to the 2 that I'm on right now.
There's a lot.
I can't even imagine you doing 5.
Oh, man, yeah.
It's all making those gears.
Yeah.
So easy.
Yes.
Just stands around there on Slack all day.
Yeah.
Yep. To be fair, the one...
I'm just going to email this to his boss.
The one heavy... Oh, my God. The one heavy cardboard Slack was for HeavyCon, so it's going to die down. And my Geekway Slack has died down because Geekway's passed. But we're launching a Slack, so if you want to have more direct interaction, if you're not on Twitter and you use Slack because you're in the professional business world, and Slack's a business and productivity tool.
So productive.
Which has killed all of my productivity.
Yeah, that's...
Yep. But yeah, we're launching a Slack. There will be a link in the show notes that you can go to and click on it, and it's just an invite. So you can join the Slack. And we're going to have a bunch of different channels. We'll talk, I've already set up a beer channel, a video game channel.
And then also a PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds channel.
Yeah, we'll set up channels for all the different things that we are interested in. And so if you are interested in those things, you can come and interact and chit-chat and keep things a little bit more contained. And
Hashtag Murder Island.
Yes.
And it's a little bit more private than Twitter, where Twitter you tweet and just fucking everybody who follows us and follows you sees everything. This way it'll be people who actually are show listeners and fans, people associated with the show.
Or dogs. I don't know. Don't have to be people.
Yeah. On the internet, no one knows you're a dog.
Indeed.
So, so we're launching the Slack.
Indeed.
So that was News B. And then now News Epsilon.
Echo,
sure. We are putting the final touches on our Patreon. And so this is something we kind of talked about for a while here on the show.
Everyone's got one.
Yep.
People are
We're
doing
feeling
them.
lonely.
This is entirely because we are followers.
Yep.
Zach is doing nothing but cringing at all moments of this conversation.
All of the self-promotion.
Yeah.
No, so seriously though, we have been putting out a year of content, and we've put out on average more than 1 episode a week, actually. And we want to keep doing that. Like we talked about, we want to start including more interviews.
Fancy interviews.
Industry insiders. Fancy interviews. We basically want to continue to grow the show.
Yes.
And we want to keep doing awesome things. To this point, we've done giveaways for major milestones. We would really love to where we can just start to have giveaways be a regular thing on the show.
Who doesn't love free games?
Exactly. I want to vastly improve our website. Our website right now is really basic because it is what we can afford. And
we do this for free.
Yes.
/ negative.
Yeah, we do this for negative money right now.
Yes. And so
out of our love.
Yep.
So we decided to set up a Patreon. This is going to be entirely voluntary. If you choose to not join the Patreon, then that's fine. You're going to still get the same content. Both those episodes that we were talking about that we're splitting the show into, you're going to get both of those. You're still going to get, probably 3 hours, because it's probably going to be, instead of a 2.5 hour episode, it's going to be 2 hour and a half episodes. So you're actually going to get more content. Let's be real.
Content will not change for the worse based on anything Patreon based.
Yeah. This is entirely a voluntary thing, and it's basically a way for if you are a big fan of the show and you want to continue to support our growth more than you already have just by listening and talking about us, which has been huge and we greatly appreciate. This is an opportunity for you to support the show a little bit financially and be a part of what we're doing here. We're putting together some nice little rewards so that it's not just like, hey, give us money. Like,
I like money.
We all like money, but we also like, giving back. So in exchange for giving money, you will get awesome things. Like Jeff has mentioned his extraneous show notes. Like those might start to show up on the Patreon only feed.
Man.
As something that people can look over and mock.
Good luck.
And laugh at.
Laugh at my handwriting.
We regularly record a bunch of audio pre-show as we discuss the show. Things like that can go on a small MP3. They can be dropped in a Patreon, supporter.
If you thought we cursed a lot on the show,
yes.
Wait till you hear all the Hitler jokes in the pre-show.
So, I think all of our Hitler jokes this episode were in the show.
Well, there could be more. Things that we go over the line and have to cut.
That's at a high tier level. We need to see that you actually aren't just going to
narc on us.
Narc on us. You gotta send us a decent amount of money to get the dirt. But no, like this is really just the thing. It's an opportunity for us to grow the show. Like I said, I want to stress very much that this is entirely a voluntary thing on your end. We're going to keep doing the show for the foreseeable future. Like we've been able to do it this far. We're going to be able to continue the show in its current form. Indefinitely. The entire point of this Patreon, though, is to not continue the show in its current form. It's to grow the show and make it bigger and better and
we could do
more
video
awesome.
Videos or written things or stuff like that.
Yes.
You want to see what our Wednesday night shit shows look like?
Yeah.
Game night?
Which are surprisingly not shit show-esque. I mean, there's a lot of drinking and cursing.
Yeah.
But we keep it together.
Organized cursing and
well-organized shenanigans. So we've got a bunch of ideas about ways we want to grow the show and things like that. And, your support can go a long way towards helping that.
Yes, definitely.
So we're putting the final touches on that. We are anticipating a launch next week for the Patreon. So
starting at a whole $1.
A whole $1 base level of support. $1 per month. Less than a soda pop.
Indeed. A soda pop will run you $1.59.
Yeah, so
I really enjoy how I can say either certain things or just put a certain inflection on almost anything, and I get this out of Zach.
It hurts.
It's just soda. It's soda. You didn't even do pop. You do soda pop.
It's like soda pop.
No. At least you're not calling everything Coke. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Only in the South.
Yeah, that's where it fucking was.
That was
as I have much family in northern Mississippi. I am well versed in the ways of Coke.
Being stationed in Georgia, Coke drove me nuts, and then the fact that I could never order an iced tea. I always had to specify.
Would you like some unsweetened
iced tea?
Because apparently it was sweet, and then they're like, let's just take that back out somehow.
So those are the three major things that we've got going on for the show moving into year 2. We're splitting the episodes, so you'll have shorter, more relevant to what you want to listen to episodes. Feel free to download one or the other or both, depending on what your interests are.
Always both.
This definitely isn't a ploy to get more download numbers.
Yep,
I promise that.
See, and when you say it like that, Zach, we lose all.
Don't worry, I'm winking, so it's fine. Everybody knows.
We are launching the Slack channel, so feel free to jump on there and interact with us. We've established I am on Slack pretty much all the time. So join the Slack and chit chat with us.
And I have constant Slack notifications.
Yes.
And yes,
give more notifications for Jeff to ignore.
Just always tag Jeff.
It's like, I have to work. What are you people doing all day?
And then we're launching the Patreon. So that will be next week. The Patreon is not currently available. We're putting the final touches on it. If you have any ideas of things you would really like to see in a Patreon, if you're interested in supporting the show, let us know what kinds of things you would like to get in exchange for that support.
It's like, I need a $500 a month pledge level.
And
and then I want nothing in return.
And we'll make sure and include that. If you are that one person who wants to just really make it rain on the Mile High Game Guys podcast.
Or hail. I don't know. They could be dollar coins.
One of my favorite.
Jesus Christ, $500 a month in dollar coins?
Yeah.
That's going to get unwieldy.
One of the people that I do support on Patreon, he has a $1 million a month pledge. That's just his pledge is if you do that, he will buy one Lamborghini a month.
And it's funny because he even says on it, like Zach was showing me this when we were discussing like pledge levels and stuff. He's like, Patreon doesn't even let you go this high.
No.
So you can't do this. But if you find a way, I will buy one Lamborghini a month.
Yep.
So we have some rough ideas that we're putting some, like I said, final touches on. If you have something that you really would love to see from something like that, let us know. Otherwise, just stay tuned. And next week we'll be launching that.
Yes. And we'll have the final details and shit like that. So
correct.
It will not take much.
No.
To make us happy.
We're nice and cheap and easy.
Yep. First goal is just the show supports itself.
Easy like
which is almost nothing.
Yeah.
Next to nothing.
Yeah, $50 a month is what we need for the show to be revenue neutral. Mm-hmm. Which will for sure guarantee that we will keep on going year after year after year after year.
We're going to run out of board games to review.
No, we're not.
We just have to start going to the crappy ones.
Oregon Trail, the card game. Oh, God. I should have thrown that on the next block. Gotcha,
fuckers. Gotcha, we should do some really bad ones just so we can rip into them.
Just shred
we
them.
need to start doing an April Fool's episode every April. Where we just review a bunch of
next
shitty
April 1st.
Next April.
Oregon Trail, the card game.
So a year from now, almost a year from now, stay tuned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think that wraps everything up.
Yep.
We're missing any announcements? Anything I forgot?
This is officially the longest recording we've ever had for one episode.
It is. We'll see how editing brings it down.
Yeah.
But it's a long one. Mm-hmm. But it's our anniversary. Allow us to be a little self-indulgent. I've also drank almost an entire growler of beer over the last
I helped you a little bit.
hours. Kate helped a little bit too.
That's true.
I'd probably drink at least a quart, if not close to half a gallon of water.
Wow.
Just bring a gallon jug like the fucking gym. Just like, poof. Mm-hmm. I drink out of this now.
Glad you're well hydrated, Zach.
Yeah.
Yes. Hydration is important.
It is.
Don't get kidney stones.
That someone would know.
Cinco. It was a rough day.
All right, let's put a big old bow on this anniversary episode. Thank you, first of all, to all of our listeners. Seriously, all of you are fantastic. It blows us away that as many of you listen to this show as do. And
put up with us at week to week.
Seriously, that you get entertainment value out of this is amazing. I absolutely love it.
We're amazed that we are actually valuable to anyone else's ear holes.
Right? So first and foremost, listeners, thank you so much. We would not have made it a year without you guys. I mean, that goes without saying. If we had only ever had 12 downloads an episode for a year, we would have been like, all right, well, that tells us all we need to know. Pack it up, guys. Yep. We'll go back to just insulting each other at game night.
Not recording it.
Nope.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you to everyone else who's contributed to this episode. Dyson Men, Doc Logan, Patrick Hillier, Over the Hillier Gamer, Brandon from What Did You Play This Week podcast, Eric,
the Cardboard Hoard.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm thinking ahead of who I need to make sure and mention. Thank you, Edward and Amanda, for our wonderful intro from Heavy Cardboard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Board Game Blitz. Thank you, Ambi, Crystal, and Cassidy for your contribution, and everybody else who contributed to emails, to the Board Game Geek Guild, to all of that. Thank you so much for helping make this anniversary episode one of my favorite episodes.
Yes.
I've had an absolute blast recording this episode.
And I'd also want to thank you two for doing this. So I'm going to pull out my friendship guns.
God damn it.
God. Bullets is full of love.
The friendship guns. God.
I'm allergic to love. That's how my family raised me.
Yeah, I don't understand
parental children relationships.
Sentimental feelings.
Gotcha.
Lovey, feely, touchy. No, then same thing. Thanks for doing this for a whole fucking year, guys.
It's been a year.
Awesome. It's been a year. Can you believe it?
In this kitchen.
In this fucking kitchen. Yeah. Year 2 is in the bedroom.
Yeah, I do, and I think, God.
You start in the kitchen, you move to the bedroom.
Yep. And then back in the kitchen in the morning. Yeah, no.
This podcast is going to be the tale of a relationship just spread over many, many years.
One of us is going to die before the other one.
Not it.
Not it.
Well, I guess that leaves me to be the one to go.
Yep.
Holy shit. It's getting late.
Yes.
Let's wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed 1 year of the Mile High Game Guys board gaming podcast. Here's to another year. As always,
hip hip hooray.
I've been your host, Adrian.
I'm still Zach.
And I'm birthday boy, Jeff.
And we'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
But what happens if a moose and a bear does it together? Like they charge it.
Like Wonder Twin powers activate?
Yeah, form of a dead animals because it got hit by a train.
Punchboard Media,
where we all
bring something
to the table.
Pull up a chair
at punchboardmedia.com.